Welcome to Sad Boyz, a podcast about feelings and other things also. I'm Jarvis.
I'm Jordan.
Hey,
You think
a regular opening.
Did me doing the lip sync look convincing?
Oh, never mind. It wasn't regular. He was lip syncing me.
Yeah, it was good.
He was lip syncing all the wrong words.
Yeah, I was. Well, it's a lot of words I'm not allowed to say.
Yeah, he was saying, there's a map on the Declaration of Independence.
That's pretty far off. Yeah, actually, in retrospect, I did a really bad job. He's a co-pilot. Did you know that?
Yeah, I
weird?
did. It is weird. Also weird how he bought a bunch of like dinosaur bones
just
and
spent
shit.
all his money on
Spent
wine
all
and
his money,
dinos.
and then had to do a bunch of bad movies. Didn't do The Beekeeper though.
To be fair, when I was like 19, to spend all my money on comics, wine, and dinosaurs.
Yeah. However,
Perfect.
I think he was 60 and worth of $500 million.
Rats.
I don't know if he was quite 60, but he
Open
was
up my Wells Fargo
old.
account. It's less.
What if you like open up your bank account and it's like, oh, where'd the money go?
It's a moth.
What happened?
A moth flies out of my screen.
It's like it's a CSS moth. That like fly. It's like
Clippy.
it does like a perspective warp. You think it's coming at your face.
The train.
And then it's in the. Oh, that would fuck me up so bad if you like had like a fly. That'd be a good like way to troll someone.
Oh.
Is get like a little fly to fly across the screen, but it's inside of the computer.
Did you ever get one of those viruses where it would be like a beautiful bikini woman that walks along your taskbar or something?
No.
Well, this was like circa 2002 or something.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but you try and install a Star Trek demo disc game, and all of a
Right.
sudden, Crystal has found her way onto your search bar.
Hey,
Hey, big boy, trying to play the Matrix online?
Oh, I did try to play the Matrix.
I
online.
try being the operative word.
I tried. I don't think I had enough internet.
Yeah, I don't think I had
Like
enough
my internet
computer.
speed was not. It was not up to snuff.
Now it's dead.
Couldn't. Yeah.
Like Morpheus.
Sad.
Maybe.
He did die in that.
That's right, he eats shit.
Which is kind of wild that the Matrix 4. They were like, oh, by the way, remember in the Matrix Online, and everyone was like, no.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I
Wait,
mean,
why is
fine.
Morpheus in it? I think it was more of a cop out than anything else.
It's
but
literally. I thought it was supposed to be some kind of initially before the movie came out. I thought maybe it was a little juke, little trick. I think I even say that on air. I predicted that actually, he'll be in it, but no, it was a scheduling conflict.
oh, okay.
They were just like, we'll get another one.
Yeah. We'll get a different guy.
Can we have Herschel O'Reilly? He's busy too.
Oh no, Blade.
Yeah, do you guys have Blade? Can we please have Blade? They don't even know his name.
Yeah, I was looking at a show. Were we looking at like an old show and like the cast and then like Mahershala Ali is randomly? It was like an old like TV sitcom.
He's in an
Yes.
old episode of SVU that I saw recently,
It
and
was
he is.
like-
Let me tell you, they waste no breath on like. The show might as well call him Black Man. It's just like he is.
Blackman.
I believe it's in the same episode where there is a hip hop star and his manager is quote addicted to bling. It's maybe the best show I've ever seen in my entire life. I can't stop watching it.
Yeah, he was in the show Crossing Jordan. That's what it was.
fuck?
And
Oh my god.
the 4400. That's the show I was thinking of.
What's that?
Okay, this is a show in the early 2000s. I remembered this show recently while talking to my friend Linus. Shout out Linus. The show 4400 was, I think, about some sort of like apocalyptic event where only 4,400 people like remained on Earth.
Oh, I do remember this.
And this was like the early 2000s. I think it was pre-Lost. I think it was pre a lot of that stuff, you know. But it was like
pre-Avengers Endgame, probably.
depends on which multiverse.
Actually, if you were to think about the Tesseract sending you through dimensions,
Yes, the Tesseract is a four-dimensional
just a jock
object.
appears to beat us up. He materializes.
Also known as a hypercube,
you might be surprised to know it was in fact an Infinity Stone housed within it.
and I've got an infinity bone to pick with those filmmakers.
It was a huge erection.
Yeah, and I've got a boner on top of that.
I do vaguely remember this. Let me find an image of.
Well, Jacob, can you just pull up the 4400?
Also, this is your phone. Oh my
Wait, your
god!
face unlocked it. What the hell?
You won't believe who's on the line.
Oh yeah, look at this.
Oh yeah.
Look at the cast. Like, look at that cast photo. So I was showing this to my friend, like the top right, and I'm like, "Is that Mahershala Ali?" Looks like they photoshopped him into a show from the early 2000s.
Wow, every single one of those actors looks like almost a real one.
Yeah.
That's not Will Wheaton.
AI is getting pretty good, actually.
Wow. God, they're just, what is she doing, by the way?
Like,
Is
this
she in a
guy?
box?
This was like a Shining, almost made it to The Shining. She almost made it to X-Files. He almost made it to Law and Order.
Dude, third callback for SVU, yeah.
He's almost Ian Somerhalder from Lost.
Oh, he was going to be the third supernatural brother.
Right. Yeah, he's the third property brother. She was almost at the front desk in 24.
I think that the super tall one might be. Is that? No, it's not Jim.
Wait, let's go to the cast.
Jacob, initiate 4400.
Oh yeah, classic. Oh my God,
Pfluger himself, Patrick Pfluger, playing Sean Farrell.
Oh,
Wait, check
the
out Patrick.
Flugmeister.
Can we check the Flugmeister and see if he has had a prolific history in Christian
Wait.
movies?
Well, okay, open that in a new tab. But can we watch the trailer too?
Wait, were there 44 episodes of the show?
Maybe.
No way. Ah, come on.
Comet, it's not a flyby anymore. It's heading right at us.
Is this supposed to be that bright?
You just changed course and accelerated again.
The comet cannot change course.
This one has.
Then it's not a comet.
Massive, 100, 200 feet in diameter.
I have over 4,000 people that stepped out of a ball of light.
Oh, wait, 4,000 people got added.
None of them have any memory of what happened to them.
I think I saw
It's
you.
like a reverse leftovers.
Sean?
The Forgotten.
Oh,
They're dead, aren't they?
She's 8 years old, only she was born in 1938.
The Forsaken.
We need to
so
isolate
that
this.
graphic, that is actually sick.
They're human beings.
The Forbidden.
You're saying he killed someone.
The 4,400.
Okay, so I thought it was the opposite of what it was, but in my defense, I think I was a child when this show was coming on, so I didn't have great recollection of it.
I mean, it is. Have you watched The Leftovers?
No,
That is a great show.
is that Damon Lindelof?
Yes, at least production role.
I'm in.
But it's great high concept. It's literally like the opposite. It's a small portion. I think it's like
Yeah.
2% of the population disappears. Something
Yeah.
like that, which we could do with it. I mean, come
Or
on.
like, what was that show? The Last Man?
with Will
Not Why
Forte.
the Last Man, the comic by
The guy did Saga.
what's his name? Oh man, Why the Last Man, the comic by author.
Give me the first letter when you find.
Oh, give me the first letter. We'll see who gets it first.
Yeah, B. His name starts with B.
B.
Oh, I was just reading Saga again.
Bob.
Is it Bob?
No.
What's the second letter?
The second letter is R.
Brian.
Michael Bendis? No, that's
No.
Spider-Man.
Oh, we're gonna get it. Brian. It's not Brian.
Can I give you a
Brian.
tiny hint?
Brian something hand. Brian.
He has a middle initial.
Brian K.
Vaughn.
Yeah.
God damn.
Brian K. Vaughan?
I bring the K. I brought the
fellas.
K.
Good
I
boys
brought the
together.
K, baby. I brought the K.
I wouldn't have got there without the K.
Contributed the K.
Jarvis showing up to a party with ketamine.
I brought the K.
I brought the, and I'm on it right now.
You're 4 days late.
I'm shaking.
It's a bar mitzvah. I got
I'm
the K.
shaking and I'm tired.
Let me in.
And I'm
Speaking
gonna.
of comets, did you guys see the one that went over Portugal?
Yeah. I mean,
That was
I
crazy.
personally didn't see it because I'm here
for
in
a
Los
second.
Angeles.
Sorry, I misheard. I thought you said speaking of comics. Did you see the one that went over Portugal?
It was a Superman comic.
That would be such a classic. Jacob has access to information.
This,
we've never
by the
had.
way, this is literally the fucking trailer for the 4400.
that is the same.
We just watched this on the 4400. Portugal.
That's not real. That clip
Portugal, Fox, or whatever TV network did this in the early 2000s.
It was Portugal.
No, that actually is
Well,
crazy.
actually, it wasn't a comment in the 4400 if you paid attention.
No,
You
it wasn't a
know that.
comment. They're like people. There's 4,400 of them. Duh.
Was it Tobey
And they're from like a
Maguire?
long time ago.
Or something.
As the reappearance of 4,400 missing persons on a single day. It's a great plot. Someone should reboot
That
this.
is good.
It's like, because I like that it's missing people who were already missing. So it's like, wait, and they all were together?
This would do numbers on Netflix today.
Oh my
A
god!
limited series.
Drops all at once, no second season.
Yeah.
It would kill, because I mean, this was it ran from 2004 to 2007, but I think it kind of got like Lost kind of came in there and took all the thunder from every show that had any sort of sci-fi vibe.
44 episodes for like a traditional mainstream drama in 2004 to 2007 is not a lot of episodes.
No, I mean, because they were keeping things going, but
And still, it's one episode too many. They could have done it.
yeah, they could have done it.
Bridgerton is the most popular television show, Jacob. Did that?
Apparently.
I think right now, because it's like people are talking about it right now.
Oh, because of DEI or whatever.
I don't know. I saw.
There's a new season.
There's a new season.
Ooh, Fallout. We should watch that.
I'm gonna
Baby Reindeer. Did you
freaking
guys watch
fall
Baby
off
Reindeer?
right now.
I'm gonna
Fall off the earth that's flat.
By
the way.
hold on. Okay,
Which is a thing I believe that I won't discuss.
Please don't get into that on this episode.
It's so flat, dude.
You know, I know that there's a lot of like TV or whatever. Is popularity mean it's the 2,637th most popular show? Yeah. Because that's high.
And it's, by the way, it's on the way down, which is, I think, understandable as a show that came out 30 years ago.
This is probably the most press the show has had in about a decade. 141 episodes of Young Sheldon. How old's this fucking kid? How old's this kid gonna get? What's the deal with this kid?
I do like the idea that like 141 days is not that much. So like what to you is like the time between episodes? Like 141 years? What is he, a fucking Gandalf the Grey, dude?
Is this magic or some shit?
Did you watch the final episode? It just ended.
Of Young Sheldon? Of course. Are
was-
you insane?
And the Good Doctor, I think they just ended on like the same night.
They had a duo ending.
No, it's when he resolves Desert Storm. That's the final episode. He goes there, he uses math to kill everyone.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
So how long until they reboot this into Sheldon?
Yeah, it's just Guy.
Elderly Sheldon.
Yeah.
Did Young
The small bang theory. The small bang conjecture.
The Bang.
Young Big Bang. Shelled in. It's a show about a bomb shelter where only a few people survived like nuclear winter, and they're
Chuck
like
Lorre.
they live in the vaults. They live. They live. It's kind of like a fallout, like nuclear fallout.
Let's watch some of the Fallout show to catch up on that idea.
Also, at the end of the show, we are going to show a little preview of the new Sad Boyz branding.
That's right.
Because we have been working on this for a while, and our existing Sad Boyz branding that we've had since like 2020, we used like free assets online, but we don't like own it, so we can't like. I would feel uncomfortable like putting it on merch and selling anything like that. And as we're like gearing up for like the new identity of Sad Boyz and with a visual identity that we own, we've been working with some designers and with the team, and we landed on something that we really like. And so that's gonna start changing on the next episode. But we want to give you a little heads up.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. It's still the same show, just a little bit of visual differences. Some avatars will change, some images, album art will change. So it's still the same show, but we want to show it to you because we're excited about it, one, and then two, also so that you don't get spooked. And we'll do that at the end of the show. So yesterday I was playing Magic the Gathering with our good friends Karen Hahn and Brian David Gilbert. And I had a card that... every time I played an instant or sorcery, summoned a 2/2 flying Drake token.
Respect.
And every time I summoned one, I'd be like, you might need some Kendrick Lamar tokens. I just kept making that joke
Guys,
over and over.
They're refusing to acknowledge
I
it.
had like 13 Drake tokens, and I was like, you guys are going to need a few diss tracks to defeat my army.
As you recall.
Remember?
Brian,
wake up.
Brian, come back.
No.
Let me in. I want to play Magic.
I don't want to. No, please stop.
Come on. How's that? You're in the game. You're in.
Oh, I'm doing
Magic Jarvis is back.
Magic Jarvis has returned. For those who don't know, my original internet handle was Magic Jarvis, is Magic Jarvis, because when I signed up for RuneScape as a young middle schooler, I didn't know how MMOs worked, and so I wanted my friends to know that it was their friend Jarvis that they played Magic with, and thus Magic Jarvis was born. People think it's related to Magic Johnson. It's not. People think I do magic. I don't. And yeah, so I was really into magic as a child, as a young buck.
The player.
I was really into Magic Johnson as a young player. No, but I got back into Magic recently because I was playing with some other friends, and I was like, it's time for me to know what my cards do, because usually I just play with other people's cards. And
now you're on your. It's just one last job.
As a simple plan, or maybe it was Sum 41, or maybe it was another band that we can look up after that. I was much like their maybe 2003, maybe 2004 hit "In Too Deep." Wait, can we look up?
It's Night.
Who sang "In Too Deep"? And I'm trying to keep.
Sum 41.
Sum 41. Okay, it was a coin flip.
Hold on. Oh, there's also one by Genesis. Did you mean Genesis?
I did not mean Genesis. Not to be confused with the Sega Genesis, my first gaming console.
That was your.
Not that it was. Not that I'm that old, but it was a family member gifted it to me.
Fellas, we're both young, okay?
Yeah.
Name a couple things we like.
I was just listening to Olivia Rodrigo, and I was like, "Oh, we have the same experiences in life as we are the same age."
Yeah, I actually created Queer Pop. Did you hear about that?
Oh yeah.
And I learned that scary dance she's been doing. I sent you that this morning. I liked one reel of it, and it's all I got.
I said I wouldn't talk about it.
It's really scary.
I said I wouldn't talk about it.
It's like a dislocation dance. I don't have the tissue like density to be able to do that. My shoulder would
I'm
fly
too
off.
old to comment on this young girl, and she's doing just fine, and everything's fine.
She's doing a scary dance.
No, she's just fine, and everyone is coming into their own and becoming an adult. And
no reason to bully this person, or definitely not laugh at their scary dance.
Leave them alone.
She just turned 21, so does that make it any better?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make it any better.
Now you can drink.
And did I see the video of her getting drunk at Disney World and asking people to sing the lyrics to her songs, and they didn't know the song?
No. We didn't see that.
Unrelated though, Britt Smith, very underrated pop singer from the early 2000s, has a song called "Karma" that is delectable. Recently, she was allowed to release it due to something
unrelated happened.
Something unrelated happened, and it was climbing the charts. And I was like, "Damn, what a classic Timbaland hit!" And that's all I'll say about that.
And it's remarkable. There's no other things involved with that, and also. Who is Jojo Siwa? I don't even know who that is.
Who even is that? I have never heard those words before. However, I will say something about the song "Karma" by Britt Smith and only Britt Smith and Timbaland.
With some very normal, not scary dances associated with it.
Yeah, Britt Smith doesn't have any dances, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Nothing scary.
So I love a boy band. And I know I wasn't a One Direction guy. I was more of the old school. I was an NSYNC kind of guy. Not Backstreet Boys, because there was a feud at the time, and I chose my side.
You're a loyal follower.
Now, however, you know the show Glee.
I do.
Do you know Artie, the wheelchair kid from Glee, played by actor Kevin McHale, not NBA player Kevin McHale?
And he is, I believe, not in a wheelchair in real life.
That's true. In fact, he was in a boy band called NLT, which stood for Not Like Them. And they have a song called "Karma" that is also produced by Timbaland. So am I to believe that in the early 2000s, Timbaland was just around producing any fucking song called "Karma"? Let's pull it up. NLT "Karma." I don't know if we're going to get claimed for this.
Wait, is it possible at all to ground this as something in maybe our lifestyles that he offered it to one side? And then sort of ordered a second Uber Eats, if you will.
So
offered it to another person.
The songwriter, at least of Britt Smith's "Karma," that was also performed recently by another artist who I don't want to shame because they're a young person that I don't want to have a voice in their, coming of age and coming into their own independence. We all do silly things, and that's fine.
Silly dance.
Sometimes silly dance, and it's fine. Speaking of silly dance, I did a silly dance. So I learned the choreography to this song. And I feel like the lead singer of this band, Travis Garland, should have been a much bigger solo pop star because he.
Wait, that's not the Artie kid.
No, Artie. He was the number 2. He was the JC Chazé to Travis Garland's. I know some people want to say JC is the number 1 of NSYNC, but it's just like just how the band is marketed is all I want to say. Also, this guy Travis Garland, I feel like he had it all. He could have been a star.
Whoa, what's going on with the blues brother there on the left? That's a fit.
Oh yeah,
Respect.
the V I think his name is.
Do you think there's like a conspiracy theory out there about this Karma song, Timberland
There's got to be.
situation? There's alternate timelines.
I know that
the MCU.
I'm sure that song's gonna get claimed because even though that band has been broken up for 20 years and never even released an album,
Like Capitol Records still
yeah, they
owns
still
them or
own
something.
it. Yeah,
we
so
could
they're
do
gonna
we
claim
do
it.
an a cappella cover.
Yeah, we'll just do little
Capella's
parts.
easy. There's no instrument.
So if you're just watching this and it like haphazardly cut around the music, it's because I did stop the show to relearn the choreography to a 2007 boy band dance move of a boy band that never even released an album, just a few singles and a dream. There was an album leaked, like their album leaked somehow. I had it. I have it to this day. Second of all, do you want to guess how many active monthly listeners this band has on Spotify?
300,000.
Jordan, I'm going to show you the number and you can reveal it.
What is it?
It's 14.8.
14,000 people.
Wow.
That it's so few people. Each of those songs has like over 1 million plays, but
For all the diehards, go and listen to. I want to see that number go up as a result of this episode.
but people
even a
just
little bit.
their album. The only way to listen to their full album is to like look at the leaks on YouTube or to be me and have uploaded it to your YouTube Music back in the year 2010.
I do have to say though, Jarvis knowing the lyrics of something kind of doesn't mean anything, because every once in a while, Jarvis, you'll be like, what song is this? And then you'll sing the whole song,
have
all
lyric
lyrics
brain.
perfectly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, that's this like Devo song or something.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're like, I
don't know why I know
maybe
that.
have heard it once.
Yeah, I don't know.
You have lyric brain. I have like legend brain. Like being a
Where you like just remember every legend you've ever met?
I
like
love
moi?
myth. Anastasia, you got girl brain.
Yeah, I've got a good brain.
Anastasia, I play action figures. You play with Barbie.
Yeah, it means I play with Barbie, I do laundry.
I play with laundry. Play with
Play
dishes.
with the laundry.
Yeah.
That is maybe the weakest, like, boring person, sexist zinger I still see from like blue check stuff. Mark the bingo code. Is go kitchen make a sandwich or something. Like, are you still doing this?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
time
wild.
traveling right now.
There's a lot of jokes that. I mean,
Look between A and D. On
I
your
saw
keyboard.
people talking about sports ball discourse. And
Oh
I was like,
my
yeah, we're
Lord.
still doing sports ball.
Did you see Harrison Butker, I think his
Oh.
name is? He did this commencement speech at like a Catholic school,
Yeah.
college.
Harrison Butker,
that was
the football kicker, the NFL kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Super Bowl winner.
he is a football kicker.
It would make more
he
sense.
kicks football.
He does kick the football.
But he gave this commencement speech that was like sexist, like racist. Like he was trying to
Everything.
fit as much like horrible stuff
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
there.
who
as
else don't I
possible.
like? Beep. Beep. Oh, those guys.
So
You, sir. You're one of them.
He said something. The thing that stuck in my brain, because I didn't see the whole speech, I just saw clips or like sections of it.
It's the parts you agree with.
Yeah, the part I agreed with was when he told
He said, "Hello,
the
I'm Harrison
women
Butker."
who just got degrees that their career is unimportant until they become wives and mothers, and that's their real important career.
What's crazy
that's really
is
nice.
that his mother is an accomplished physicist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because she was accomplished because she had babies.
Also, shout out women in STEM. Also,
Legit.
I know what you're thinking. You're like, Sad Boyz have nothing in common with Harrison Butker. Why are they talking about this?
yeah.
And what I have
They
to
hate
unfortunately tell you is that Harrison Butker was the kicker of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, and we overlapped the entire time
Buzz,
when I
buzz.
was in college.
You went to college.
We
with
went to
him?
college together. Yeah.
Go bees.
I watched him play every week during the football season, and I never heard him speak until just now.
Did you make fun of his last name at all?
Every single time.
The wide-ranging speech also
Every
touched on
single time.
pride, birth control, COVID restrictions, quote, dangerous gender
It's
ideologies.
like a rap god level of how did he hit all of these topics?
This is what Tom McDonald thinks he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the cajones to do. Oh, and Catholic principles. That's vague.
There's a level of conservatism, like traditional family values, that type of thing. Like not even political conservatism. I just mean like traditional family stuff.
Sure.
Where it's in religious stuff specifically, where it gets to a level where I don't even understand what they're saying.
It
like,
is-
I don't really know when you say Benedictine. I don't know what that
It
means.
does
like
hit a
Pope
line.
Benedict.
It kinda hits-
or is there like I don't know.
It's that line where it's like somebody's kind of, it's nice to hear about somebody's fixation or whatever. Like it's nice to see passion, and then they start talking really specifically about Adventure Time lore.
Yeah.
You're like, Homestuck or something, and you're like, I don't know who these characters are.
It's a
man.
different language.
Remember that episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog? No.
And also, a lot of times people paint this as if it's like saying, "Oh, they don't want women in the home anymore. They want them all working and being CEOs." And it's like, we want people to have a choice.
Yeah, we want women to do whatever they want to
Yeah,
do.
to not be like forced into.
Gosh,
yeah.
I think what I'd like is to stop having this conversation.
Yeah.
I'd like for no one to have to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird how much of discourse is just around not wanting it. Trans people are not asking for you to they're not asking for you to put up a pride flag at your house. They're asking for you to not, endanger their existence.
Yeah.
Prohibit their ability to live the life they want and need to. And instead
Infringe
they're
on
like,
their
what, I
soul.
gotta get a tattoo that says my gender across my teeth? No, not really. I have to get a grill that announces both my date of birth and where I am on the gender spectrum? Not particularly, no. Oh. All right.
I wanted to find this Elon tweet. I think one of the biggest issues is that nobody wants to hear anyone out or listen
Work anymore?
And so like, I don't give a fucking flying shit about the New York Times, but there was this New York Times article that was called "The Racial Bias Built into Photography." Sarah Lewis explores the relationship between racism and the camera. And I'm like...
Is there a Tony Stark level genius that might have a take on
Well,
something?
yes, exactly. And I'll tell you just what his take is. But like when I see that, I go, oh, okay. It's a look through photography over time and like how there's racial biases built into it. Much like if you were to take a historical look at anything, you can't ignore like the role that race played in it, because even in the most charitable case where you believe that racism no longer exists, you tend to believe that it did exist in the past.
Yes.
So why would you not hear that person out?
And at the very least, why would you not just say, interesting op-ed, I will or won't read it. If I don't, I certainly won't talk about it.
Yeah. But what's interesting about like the Elon heads, and specifically Elon, is that like...
And his giant head.
For as much as they like love intellectualism, or at least in theory, the aesthetics of it, they don't want to hear out anyone else's dissenting thoughts. They just like completely say, no, that's not real.
You're annoying me. Stop saying stuff.
Elon said, the new woke times is truly unreadable. And I'm like, this is a headline, my guy.
He just means he can't read.
Yeah. He's like, he needs a new glasses prescription.
It is truly unreadable. I have to pay $5 a month to see the article.
The screenshot's blurry. He's like, wait, how did you get a blurry screenshot?
What the hell did you do?
He has corrective lenses on his screen.
He puts his contact on them.
There's no possible scenario where he read that article.
Because
it's unreadable. Yeah, no shit.
It's actually it's been translated into a Caesar cipher, and so you have to actually know the code in order to turn it into non-gobbledygook.
Elon building an Enigma machine to try and understand a post from like just a single Washington Post article.
Should we create a newspaper called the New Woke Times?
The New Woke Times
kind of is like a good name.
New Woke Times. It kind of sounds like
Do you make a New York Times?
New York Times. The New York Times. It kind of feels like the name of like a backpacker hip hop album from like the early 2000s.
Yeah. New Woke.
Like before woke had been like kind of turned into like a political word.
Yeah.
Or not turned into you know what I mean.
Slander.
It was always like a political word.
Got those New Woke Times and these no woke rhymes.
Yeah.
It's like Saturday cafeteria.
Maybe it's just because J. Cole has a song called New York Times.
Well,
and then he rhymes
woke.
New York Times with New York rhymes, and I go, yeah.
Understood.
Dudes will see this and go, yeah, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, our version of how often do you think about the Roman Legion is like, how often do you think about Cole?
Oh man,
How often do you check in with mixtapes?
there's a lot of J. Cole lyrics I think about a lot. There's a lot of bad ones that I try not to think about, but then there's a lot of fun ones.
Like when he says like, "I'm the shit, I'm the doo-doo, I fart." Or something
No,
like
that was Kanye, yeah. And also Ice Spice.
Cole has a doo-doo line or two, no?
Oh, plenty. I mean, he had he
shit king.
unfortunately had like a kind of transphobic line on his recent project.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's like, what are we doing here?
Come on.
And it's like he hasn't come out and clarified it. I'm willing to give like some benefit of the doubt, but it's just like hard to imagine, especially because he has a lot of lines that go not a lot, but like, you know, like using the F slur and things like that. And it's, you know, I'm not one to like throw the baby out with the bathwater, but it is annoying at the very least.
The most generous thing you can say is like it's an old head slip up, but even then,
and not even I won't say slip up because I think that's giving him too much
generous.
benefit of the doubt. But I'd say it's intentional. It's meant to be smart, but it comes off as someone who doesn't have, you know, queer people in their circle, and then and then makes really like is attempting to be intellectual. And then comes off not that at all.
Yes, slipping.
You know
on,
what I mean?
Making a slip by deliberately walking on ice.
Yeah, it's like when Drake misread the lyrics of Kendrick's song, right?
So embarrassing. How does that happen?
Exactly, and that's how I feel when Cole said like, I mean, there's like a 10-year-old lyric with the F slur in it that's just stupid, and it's not my place to sort of say like, oh, I don't feel like it was said with hate or malice, but it was said in this other way. Like I can't, you know, not being a member of that community, I can't really like offer. I don't think my opinion should hold water compared to someone else. So I
I mean, a single statement from somebody from position of authority, no,
exactly.
Take the
but it's
authority,
like when I hear that, I'm like, don't even try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could literally, it's you've walked into it feels to me like if it's not hate, and I personally don't believe it's hate, like intended to be hate, but again, it's not my like I'm not the authority on this, but it feels like you're walking into something that you feel like you are equipped to ride above it and like sort of course through it and
Yes.
navigate it in a way. And you have the hubris to think you can navigate it in a way that somehow doesn't upset unintended parties. And absolutely you were wrong. And it only it basically is whack to people who don't care about the issue, the sort of mind that you're stepping on. And then for people who do care, it's just hateful for no reason.
It makes you look uninformed. Yeah. That's the thing. I think that's maybe what people underestimate is that like, it's being
probably,
like, I don't give a shit is no longer an impressive. That stops being impressive when you turn like 22. Like, I don't even give a damn about anything.
Well, okay,
like,
you know what it is?
should think.
It's like when people think that they're smart enough to use the N-word tastefully, but they're white.
Yeah, it's words. Yeah, it's all
just
about
words,
context.
actually. And that's level one is it's just words.
And I'm like, yeah, of course that's what you think because that's easy.
Yeah,
it's
so
an
again-
easier way to live. And you can reconcile that time you said it to try and impress that one kid at school that like pretended to like you.
Again, it's like it's not my place to speak on as an authority, so I can't do that. I just, you know, grew up listening to this artist and have like a personal relationship with their music. I don't fucking know them from Adam.
I mean, I feel fucking. This is a way more like severe, straightforward, no question mark setup, but like the journey that Ricky Gervais has gone on.
Yeah.
From being him and Stephen Merchant being my comedy icons when I was a kid, to like Stephen Merchant understandably kind of just stepping back from the public eye and just working on his things privately, and then playing Caliban in Logan for some reason. Then just, I have tried to watch every Ricky Gervais special. I don't know, the last, what is it, 3 that have been horrendous. And it's just hack. It's just not, I don't even care. It's fine. I can like try and look at some of this stuff in isolation. Sometimes I'll see a YouTube short of a comedian that I otherwise don't like, and they happen to just find a decent bit in somewhere. But he's so upset that he can't. It's why conservative comedy generally isn't funny, because they just can't. They can't make like a good button on a joke because they start getting upset and pissed off before they're able to carry the joke all the way. Like if I don't know, the papyrus sketch, the papyrus sketch from SNL. Instead, Ryan Gosling just gets too upset about it to do any jokes about it. He just starts going, "It's overused. It's not. Why these young men?"
Anyway, what were we talking about?
I have a little question.
Was it?
How you doing?
I'm good.
It was a little question. It was tiny.
I'm okay.
4 more.
I'm passable. I'm a little teapot.
I'm short.
Jarvis.
I'm stout.
I'm stout.
My wheels on the bus
have been better. I think last week was better than this week. I've just been having trouble like getting started with just my day. Like it's so easy to just stay in bed and like not start, and then the day's like mostly gone and I haven't done like half the things I want to do, and I'm like so that's been rough. I want to get back to I got boxing today. That's been going well. I've been balling, but not as much. So I want to get back at that.
Does that feel like something where you're kind of trading the real estate between, it's like you're at 100% capacity on the activities you're doing and you want to do less boxing, more?
No, you know what? I have been doing more activities, and that's where I have to give myself credit, because a lot of the last few years I've reduced the activities that I'm doing, and I'm just not doing every activity that I want. And I think it's possible, and I just have to be patient with myself, because I also am still like dealing with everything I was talking about in the previous episode. So I just have to like be patient that not everything like comes at once.
And you can see progress very literally.
And I can see progress. Yeah.
In kind of a not huge amount of time.
True. It's like, you know, it's a little bit like credit where credit is due. I would give that to any friend, but it's like hard to like give it to myself sometimes. I recently hit up Anastasia and was like, "Hey, can you just like come over and like work with me in the morning so I can like get a start on my day, so I can like get showered and like, I don't know, potentially out of the house or at least out of my bed."
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I miss about a normal office job is like getting up and going and then like being out.
Dude, it wasn't even like an office, but when we went on that set we were on recently, in the morning, and even just hanging out in between like the scenes, sick. I was like doing so much work on my phone casually because my brain was being activated by ambient socializing. Like, no one's yelling or talking too much, but everyone's just kind of chilling out. And
I've been
time.
I've been proud of myself recently because I get a lot of pre-anxiety about socializing. Usually my social anxiety occurs in between socializing and not during, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like I can.
What do they call it? A hangover? Like a post hanging out?
Well, it's even like when we were doing, you were talking about Unpaid Intern, which we mentioned on the Stans episode. So I think we can talk about it. But like when we were in the green room for that, it was like, oh, okay, I'm socializing. And then like there'd be some like dead air. And then I'd start to get nervous again about the next activation. It's like
literally the hang.
It's like every social interaction is like combat.
Mm-hmm. Around, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like this different music starts playing. It's like dun 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 dun.
Is that boss music?
And they're like, "Fuck, I'm just talking to slime."
Yeah, going to a party and there's a bunch of chest high walls. Wait, this has to be an encounter. I feel like.
But I have been doing more socializing, and so I'm proud of myself for that. And I've just been doing more things in a day. And I think I talked about this before, where just like my life became such a hermit version of what it once was when I simultaneously left my normal job, and then also the pandemic happened, and all of my like socialization skills kind of atrophied.
Yeah.
And then now I'm starting to rebuild that confidence.
It's especially difficult when there's never a like Zach, a friend we used to work with,
Yeah,
who says
yeah.
like, we're going to the bar after work.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Thank you, Zach.
I need to rebuild, and you've been helpful for that too, because you've been like, oh hey, we're doing this at this time, and a lot of times that'll be like after I did boxing, for example. And last year when I was training for Creator Clash, under no circumstance could I go do anything after I did boxing, right? I would just have to go home and like sleep or whatever, or like order food I wasn't supposed to order.
But never two different.
And I
groups
talked
at the
about
same
that a
time.
little bit, maybe on the bonus, but like, some people were giving like well-meaning comments. They're like, oh, it sounds like you need to have snacks that aren't like food. And I'm like, yo, I have them. That's not the issue. The issue isn't availability. The issue is the specific craving for something bad.
Sure.
The craving that only a full pizza can fill. And that's that's wrong the entire time that you're doing it. And so you try to create, things that make it more difficult for that. I would love to eventually like uninstall food apps from my phone. That would be like ascending to like superhuman or something. But even still, it's like I've been drinking just water and like liquid IV and coffee, and I haven't had soda in a few months, and I don't feel any different. But I know that soda is a vector for me to overconsume.
Soda is a very quick kind of mini version of ordering that big pizza, maybe. Does that make sense?
Or not even one soda, but just like, what if I drink a whole 12-pack?
Yeah.
And even diet soda is like a gateway drug to that for me. Like I actually went over to Hassan's the other day did their podcast and like a stream, doing like Creators for Palestine fundraiser stuff. And which, by the way, check it out. We'll put a link in the description. But
dude's going so well. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's been going well. And shout out to Nikki and Chad and Hassan and Stanzi and just like everybody on the admin side who's been helping out a lot. And if any creators, and shout out to all the creators who've just like reached out to me to get involved. That's been like super cool. And I'm just a connector. I'm not on the admin team. I'm just, helping, signal boosting, and just connecting where I can. But and then lending my time where I can as well. So, I was at Hassan's house for this, and I was like sitting with Ted in his kitchen before we like came on, and Hassan's whole like pantry was full of like Quest snacks, which it's like I saw like a more organized, because Hassan's very regimented.
Sure, he's in the military.
Yeah. He basically is in the military for streaming, where it's like I wake up, I do my, and if anything is out of whack, then he doesn't know what to do. He goes, "Hey guys, I can't stream today." He's like naked, bare chest. He's like,
the sparks are coming off his head
because I got to do a podcast, and I don't freaking know what to do, man. Do you
understand what I'm saying?
How do I do this? But he's so regimented that if he's not streaming, then that's a weird day for him. But he had like all of the like Quest foods, like the Quest peanut butter cups, which are really, they're like keto peanut butter cups basically, but they're really good.
I wish it wouldn't tell me. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean.
I'm like, great. And because I was keto for a while, not a lot, but like 4 months or something,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Decent enough, helpful in that case.
Sure.
But just don't set me up.
Don't freaking tell me, dude.
Just let me. If you get like a sweet green salad, and then there's like they got those like little treats and stuff. If you told
me it was like the fancy, if you put it, I need someone to break into my house.
Okay.
Open all of the like health foods I have and put them in the regular food bags, or put them in like a high end.
Yeah.
If they were like, instead of like this is the Quest protein tortilla chip,
Whole
instead they were
earth.
like, this is the whole earth God tortilla that's full of godly ingredients that will make you taste the rainbow or whatever. Become Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, just put a bunch of like vegan protein powder in a Fruit Loops box.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
So anyway, I see like a lot of that. I see like a bunch of alkaline water, which I don't think there's any science behind it. I just like the taste. And then also every diet soda one can imagine. And then also the what I call Dad Coke or Night Coke, which is the
cocaine,
diet caffeine-free ketamine. It's the
diet, you say?
Yeah, it's the diet. It's the gold cans, the diet caffeine-free. Because when you want a little crispy Coke at night, but you don't want to stay up, You got to crack into that. I'm just drinking water, my liquid IV now, and I'm not going to go back to that. But I was like, this would be me if I was able to like keep a schedule like this.
Yeah. Which is you're making all the steps and the progress towards that, but that's almost even more for a little bit of time. Like it's like you're back at the gym.
Yeah.
And you know that's the right step to take, but also you want to get back to where you were or make the immediate progress because you've reminded yourself what it's like to have made that progress.
And I've been going out and drinking a lot, and otherwise I've been eating well. And so I know that like the going out and drinking a lot isn't the norm, like going on dates and things like that. And so I'm like just trying to stay the course because it's not, I need to like identify like what is a forever thing versus what is a habit and a pattern. But one thing that's getting me down that I did want to talk about in the interest of vulnerability on Sad Boyz is I wanted to talk about the thumbnail situation because the show's been very successful, but like right now, like analytics are like a little bit down, and that's okay, and that's a normal part of the thing. And you know, as we're building and we're learning, and it's not a show-stopping concern or anything like that. But one thing we are trying to do is figure out how to best like position the episodes to get the widest appeal and also the most like clicks from like my existing audience, because like, you know, Jarvis Johnson Gold has like a really active audience right now, and I would love to like convert like more of those people. And because like I have like the I'm like the YouTuber of the bunch, and we have like the YouTube podcast.
Yeah.
Like are we the usually bunch? When we have a thumbnail, if the podcast just has like 3 faces and like a color background, it's like not gonna, that's gonna perform like default to bad. And so because of us and like having the commentary basis, we're always trying to make a commentary thumbnail. And sometimes one of those thumbnails like won't have you in it, or it will be like either just me or just me and the guest. And we're like experimenting because we want to see because we have A/B testing, like a YouTube feature turned on, and we're like trying to see like what performs the best. And on the last episode, for example, one of like we had like a Jarvis and Stan's version, a Jarvis and Jordan version, and then like a Jordan and Stan's version. And I think the Jarvis and Jordan version, no offense to Stan's, was just like performing better because it was more like normal looking to the average viewer.
Yeah,
we aren't like a regular guest having show.
That
always.
Is a common practice. Yeah, like a lot of other shows do the same. People want reliability, etc.
And so like because there was one that didn't have me in it, there were like comments where it was like, "This is the first, like mark everybody, alert the wiki. This is the first one where Jordan. It's like Jordan in the thumbnail. Woo,
he's back, baby."
Yeah, and I'm like, and it's and of course that thumbnail is like not performing as well, right? In quotes, right? But it's like this, I'm torn because, and I did like respond, kind of trying to respond in good faith with some of the people. And they're like, oh, I just find it weird that the guests of the the hosts of the podcast aren't always in the thumbnail. And like, I went to like the Yards thumbnails, and it's like Ludwig only 99% of the time. And the reason is that like, and everyone's eating, like the whole point of Ludwig making that show was like, I want to make my friends rich. You know what I mean? And everybody gets the vibe. But I think that some people feel like when you're not in the thumbnail, I'm like cutting you out of the show or something like that. But like, I think what I wish people understood and what they'll never fully understand, and I have to just cope with that. And I am not complaining, I'm just explaining. And just like sort of talking about my own experience.
No, it's cool. I like that you're talking about that.
It's like I want the show to be successful, and so that everybody is able to get paid, and so there can like, because we don't have a big, it's not like we like overhired and you know we have this big office and whatever. We like record at my place. We have a pretty lean team. We just want the show to be reasonably successful so that everyone can get paid, and we can pay immigration lawyers, and we can pay our editors. And
the mission of this show is to make the lawyers rich.
Yeah, no. And so it's like, it's frustrating because I understand when people are like feel weird about it, but then it also makes me feel like our own audience doesn't like me because I'm like, because like the thumbnails are like, oh, yay, Jordan's in the thumbnail. And I'm like, I know that that's not true. And I know it's just like a difference from, yeah. And I know it's just like it's like a sort of deviation from the default. But it is also, we're just like experimenting and trying. And it's like, I spend a lot of time like thinking and strategizing and trying to come up with like ways that we can like sustainably grow the show and its audience base. And it's not like we're trying to grow stratospherically, not like we're trying to like 10x growth, like grind set or anything like that. We're just trying to keep things up, keep things like normal, and do that without like always having like a big guest to bring on every week. And everything's fine, and everything has been and will be fine, but it's just in the interest of like slow, healthy growth, and also just wanting to like put on a good show and not worry about it. It's like sometimes like gets to me, and I just figured I'd talk about it mainly to you, but then we also have to do this podcast, so it's also to the audience.
Yeah. Oh shit, we're live.
Yeah, it's just like a thing that has been, frustrating for me, but also it will pass, and I have all the support in the world to like navigate that, and the team's been amazing. So
I do think a part of it is I'm like the niche interest a little more. Like I think there's sometimes an assumption that because you have a larger platform, significantly larger platform, people might be like, we gotta. He's the underdog. We gotta raise the underdog up, and it's nice enough, but I think maybe. Honestly, I can see a younger version of myself who would be maybe even have like some pride in it, or some just like, well, I gotta make sure I'm in there somewhere. I default to it being, not that if I am, it is getting in the way of performance, but trusting you and the team as authorities on what will or most likely will perform best. If I'm not in it, I'm like, okay, I guess we decided this time that one's going to perform best, and I just care about
truly
getting.
It's just one of the options, right? And then like we get the like report after they've like tested all the thumbnails.
If I felt like I wasn't, like it was my presence or experience of the show was diminished or something like that, then that would be the thing that I found hurtful, because it's
Next
the show
episode,
that
it's solo Jarvis. Oh god,
it's you with a photo.
I would rather. Oh my god, I would rather expire. But the
that would actually be very funny if we just edit in different clips from other episodes.
Yeah,
but I'm wearing different clothes.
Yeah, or we just edit together a conversation between us that didn't really happen. It's between Josephs. But no, I also want to say that like no one's in the wrong.
It's very. I mean, I know the intentions.
I think everyone means well, and I don't even want any behavior to change from anyone. Like, I'm not asking for that, because I don't control anyone, and it's not like, I can just like not look, right, and just keep on keeping on. And I don't think it affects the average listener who's like not writing comments. They're just like listening while they like do their art homework or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm so thankful to you and the team and everything for like making this show my life. Like, it's so. It sometimes it just makes me emotional, so I'm going to be careful about it. But like it is very weird to me that this is like the priority, and that it's such, I feel guilty a lot of the time that it's such a low lift for me. I do feel like I should be doing more, and I get why I'm not. There's still so much UK stuff to do, and the things that get in the way, whatever. But there is like, I've never felt like I have more of a safety net. And anytime, it's the reason I haven't been doing YouTube as well. It's like this covers it for now. But I do want this, like, I'm so blissful with Sad Boyz. Like, it is such a mystical thing that exists for me, that sometimes when I spot a comment like that, I'm like, oh, it's okay.
I know, and it's like,
I'm all good.
It's a little bit like,
I'm floating,
because it's like not blissful for me, which is okay, because I'm more than happy to like have that role, and I think what I really want is to provide that safety net. You know what I mean? I think the takeaway from anyone who's like, oh, it's like hyper specific like YouTube situation, it's like something's getting me down. I have to assess like what's the reality versus what's the narrative. And then I, can talk to people in my life. I can talk to people who care about me and know me and my intentions. And also like, and then trust that rather than like over indexing on, something that's more representative of like an insecurity than it is a reality.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
It's smoke that is without fire.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I think it's really cool that you're comfortable talking about that. I get a little frustrated with it, not because there's anything like I'm not being wronged in any way, but I do get a little bothered by like I don't want me getting Jarvis down. Like in an abstract way, obviously I'm not doing something, but like I don't want something related for you to have an afternoon where my face is associated with like a bad time.
There's a much smaller example of this, which is funny. Because it's also like you can't control how other people feel about things online. You can't you can massage it, you can propagandize it as much as you want, but like you're not in control of that narrative. And I think something I talk about in therapy is like you have to control what you can control and your truth, right? So one fun example of this, because it is a little bit of growth and progress, and it's a little bit me up to my old misdeeds.
The misdeeding bastard returning.
So like we did this little thing on Anthony Padilla's channel. It was like commentary YouTubers I spent a day with or whatever. And it was like me, Chad, and Sandwich. And in the Instagram comments, some guy was like, I've seen this guy on my recommended. He's always mad, or he's always like, just complains about things, and there's not any unique takes or substance. And I was like, that's really interesting, because I disagree, but I'm curious like what led them to that conclusion. And so
I guess it's not phrased very aggressively either. It doesn't. It's like
and so I'm like, okay, like I'm a little bit like, I'll buy it. Like, what are you talking about? Because I think even when I started on YouTube, there was always nuance to like the stuff I was even when I was talking about like content farms and like life hacks and stuff like that, I would try to have like nuance, even if it was framed in like a negative way, because that was the like packaging of YouTube. Like it was kind of like playing the algorithm at the time, and I have to make my bed and sleep in it, because like that gave me a career basically. Sure. But
it doesn't mean there won't be contrast in the content.
Exactly. My thought process was always like you come in a certain way based on the thumbnail, and then I'm like gonna lull you to sleep with context and gray area. But a
little Abra stopwatch, or like a Cadabra back and forth.
But I asked them, and this is interesting. They were like, well, you were talking about a woman who cleans graves, and you said it was a bad thing, and she's doing something good, and you're just like sitting at home complaining, was basically their take. And I was like, oh, we just disagree. Oh, we just disagree completely.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't think the person who's getting the Scrub Daddy brand deal to like clean a grave with chemicals that are not meant for cleaning
like stone masonry.
is and also is like kind of doing like white saviorism to like Rodolfo, what a weird name.
Oh, right.
Like it, I wonder if he had friends, like like literally it'll be like, was she pretty? These are the questions I ask.
No, she's dead.
And then I also happen to know that they're doing this in Puerto Rico, and that there's all these other videos where they're like, the beaches are so dirty in Puerto Rico. Like, and it's things that like, okay, then I talk to like my friends who are in Puerto Rico, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, so I think this person sucks.
Yeah. But without, not in a reactionary way, in a literal like, well, thinking about it.
Yeah,
actually,
sorry. Yeah. I think this content sucks. Let me back
up. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And it's like, I think this content sucks, and I think this person in the most charitable doesn't fully know like why. Kind of like the girl who's like working in Target for free. Yeah. I think she means well, but like probably doesn't.
I can absolutely see that sentence being like very charitably received.
Yeah.
Like, wow, she's working in Target for free.
Exactly.
And if you give nothing else,
and then people go, why are you complaining about that? And so I'm like, okay, I don't need to explain my videos to this person. This person has what I perceive to be, they have exhibited poor media literacy.
Right.
And it's not my job to educate them. Well, I mean, I tried, and I didn't meet them where they were at. and it's like I can just let that be because I have all these people who do get it. You know what I mean? And of course, there are going to be people on the fringes and someone who like feels like what I do is like reductive. But then there's also people commenting like, "Oh no, that was an era. Like that was definitely an era for sure, but he's changed." And I was like, "Okay, what are you guys talking about?"
Hold on.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that.
But I think
so telling someone they had an error is kind of a
because it's like
idea.
because also those people haven't seen my videos that are older than that, where it's like you can. So it's like
there's eras, but just it's not that.
It's
one.
like I've always kind of. I don't think my general positions on things have been pretty standard. Like my worldview has been pretty much the same. But I think that's interesting that I just can't control that narrative and I just have to like let that go. And that's also why I don't think it's healthy to like search your name up online, which I didn't. But like when stuff shows up in my notifications, I'm sometimes bad about like not looking or like muting everything I should mute and things like that. And
can I just give you kudos for this? I know like comments or maybe like more the you have and this isn't a criticism really at all. You have a habit of engaging with a comment and not dismissing it by the factor of it being a comment.
Yeah.
And I think
absolutely.
it's I know that's been a point of conflict for you for a long time. And I think it's very cool that that's something you're engaging with critically. Because to give so much mental real estate to the comment, which now it sounds like you are instead giving to your relationship with the comment, that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's ultimately it's a little bit like my own inner critic wants to give more credence to like things that are critical of me because I am internally critical of myself and I want to make sure that I'm not missing something. Like it's always like, well, I want to do things the right way. Am I wrong? Did I miss something? And then when someone explains themselves, usually I'm like, oh, okay. Then we are just like two ships passing. This is,
or the language being used was maybe like more severe than was really intended.
But I think over the years I've definitely gotten better. And also gotten better at not like just outright telling someone they're like a doo-doo head or something. I've never been too terrible about it. And if I like, I definitely responded to one of these Sad Boyz things. I'm like, I would take myself out of these thumbnails if it was better. It's like, and I would love to get to a point where I could take myself out of thumbnails, but I don't know if that's like ever going to be the case because it's just like kind of the game we play on YouTube.
I don't have any aspirations to be as clickable a face. That's not like, hey, if I develop more of a platform, we can play around with it. But I just have no like. I'm already on New Game Plus to some extent. If that makes any sense, it's already like way more than I could have that I ever intended to have. Especially
but it's not like a charity to include you to begin with. You know what I mean? Like it's it's always. The principal problem that we run into, why there's ever an issue, is making the thumbnail. We're still trying to like, for each thumbnail, it's like a different game and it's a different process to try and figure out how to make the most compelling thing because we don't have, we've been going regularly for a year, so we have a good core, but we're still trying to widen that net and grow. And so we have to like we can't just do the same thumbnail every time like some people do, or we don't have an audio listener base that like doesn't care about the thumbnail. We're still playing that YouTube game in a sense, and part of playing that YouTube game is I had to take Lolo and Ole out of the Steve Harvey thumbnail, and because it was just performing so poorly, and I knew it wasn't the content's fault.
Sure.
And that's the
it's
thing
not even their fault.
It's not their fault.
And I relate to this as a consumer.
Yeah.
I more often than not am looking for familiarity and comfort.
Exactly,
and
me too.
And
it's like, and the thing is, like, I know that it doesn't matter because, I know that it doesn't impact the content because no one bounces off bounces off the video. They still got the content they wanted. But for whatever reason, the thumbnail communicated to them that it might not be what they want.
Yes.
And if someone has any doubt about whether or not it's going to be the comfort that they want, then they might not click. And so I kind of like returned to comfort because it is just the next edition of this series that I've done for a couple of years now. And
we should say pretty much everyone that we hang out with or get along with is does not have the kind of ego that would be bothered by that.
Yeah, no one cares, which is so
It's
funny.
never the case where someone is like, what the fuck?
I care because I don't want to offend anyone, and I want it to be the most the best for everybody, right? Because it's like if more people come through the door, then more people will check out these like great creators and friends of mine. And if I lead with them, maybe fewer people come through that door. But it's like I'm talking to Olay about this, and she's like, dude, I change the thumbnail all the time. I don't care. What are you talking about? Like, why are you even asking me?
Stop
and I'm like,
texting me.
No, I don't want to.
Who is this?
Also, Olay's great. We've been texting more, like when Meet the Grams dropped.
Yeah.
There was a
Christmas.
We were sending a lot of audio messages to each other, like cackling and laughing. It was a great time. But yeah, long-winded, but strong-winded, dude.
Yeah, you've been farting.
Oh,
Exceptionally strong-winded.
you could hear
in
that?
fact. Yeah, blew my hair back. I like us having chats like this because it also makes me like, I'm always, I guess, proudest of the show when we get to talk about stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Which combined with like the, also getting a nice thumbo in and like,
yeah.
I'm always going to be so happy about that, like a bunch of people's favorite episode also being my favorite episode, which is like, it's like the 2.5
Love that
hour,
episode. Yeah.
us sticking around having a good time. And we also talk about grief and tear up. And it is like,
and then also men are replacing girlfriends with AI.
There's like everything there. Was it?
Yeah, it was. And what's crazy about that one, no one cares. This is like super inside baseball, but like what was funny about that one is that the original thumbnail for it, that was a thing where it's like, I think we landed on a really good thumbnail. And the original thumbnail for it was 100% not going to perform as well. So it sometimes feels like you're in a puzzle where it's like there is a correct answer, you know? And that's not always the case. Like not everything has the same characteristics or has the same audience that it can reach. But, there's so many different aspects about like what we do that unfortunately we have to care about the packaging and the marketing and all that jazz because, and also thinking about the audience that we're reaching and who we're not reaching. Like, currently we reach like more women than we do men. And it's like when we started this podcast,
like, ew.
Yeah, cooties.
Ew.
When we started this podcast, the whole premise of it was to have like, be able to talk about our feelings and be vulnerable and like kind of not lead by example, because that sounds very holier than thou, but more like add an example to a cacophony of others of like, oh, hey, you can have non-toxic male friendships that involve like goofing and also like being vulnerable with your feelings.
Obviously, it rules that our demographic includes
it's
so many women and non-binary people.
Oh, it's awesome.
And which is like never the case. Like
no
one has that. That's really cool.
No.
And I would love to, I love getting the feedback of, this is a type of guy I don't see a lot, and I appreciate seeing that represented. And then on the flip side, on the rarer occasion, I also love seeing like, I was self-conscious about being this type of guy, and it is like, it's just different.
That's the thing where it's like, if there's any goal that I have, it's simply to add an addition and extend an olive branch to, the younger young man who is kind of figuring out their way, and we can share our experiences that might be valuable to that person. And if we're not reaching that person, it's not like we have an operation like acquire the boy. But,
it's not like we're not changing the content.
No, but it's more like a lot of that stuff exists in like packaging and marketing. And it's like, okay, what small changes can we make? Because I made a video about r/true rate me a while back about like the men rating women thing. And I got so many DMs from young men when I was vulnerable about my own self-image issues and stuff, that I was like, man, like there is something like I feel like there's something of value that's not reaching some people that could find it valuable, and then I just want to figure out how to like bridge that gap.
No, we don't want to trade anyone. It's like we want like
we
a
don't wanna
larger
trade
bowl to
anything.
catch more rainwater or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think people get that because like I'm sure that because we spend a lot of time talking about like the manosphere and like that there are these like young boys who are being targeted predatorily by like kind of snake oil salesmen and the like, and so it's like all we're saying is like, okay, how do we reach those people without turning them off from without compromising on anything? I think there's Jack Conte has this talk where he's like, it's called Adjust Your Packaging. It's like maybe 8 years old at this point, 6 years old. And it's literally about like, as an artist, like you have like the stuff that you care about inside of this box, and then the stuff outside of the box, the stuff that you don't care about and that you can adjust. And like packaging, for example, is something I don't. If somebody told me tomorrow you have to make your thumbnails green and that will appeal to everyone it currently appeals to, and then also like 16-year-old boys in Vancouver that will become Austin, one of our editors, then I'd be like, oh, like great, that's a win for everybody.
green's not my favorite color, but I don't care.
It's like I don't care because that's not a thing. Like that's not a thing I care about, and so I think that's like from your point about the content. Like I never want the content to change unless it's something that is coming from like the both of us and from the team and stuff. Yeah. But there is considerations being made of like, I think it's just a responsibility when you're putting something out into the world. It's like, who does this help? Who is this for? What is this for? Why is this for? You know?
Yeah.
And it's
including work like prior to public publishing and the like. I feel like working at Patreon definitely felt like not to besmirch any other company, but it felt like a more valuable thing to be doing because the people that would benefit from it in large part as consumers and creators felt like people I cared about doing well.
Exactly, because I wouldn't have joined that company if I didn't grow up watching Hank and John videos and learn about Patreon and be like, oh, Keena Grannis is on here. Oh, Julia Nunes is on here. I love those guys.
Actually, I do think I do envision me at like 17, 18 as the Sad Boyz listener. Even though it's not the specific demo.
No, me too.
It is the show. The show's quality is how close it is to what I listen to.
Right. That's kind of where I'm at too.
Which I guess is the case with anything, comedy music. Like whatever your aspiration is, you're always going to kind of aim for what your inspirations were.
But sometimes I think maybe we're not giving ourselves enough credit. Maybe we're giving ourselves too much credit. Who knows? Be the judge. Let us know in the comments down below. Won't read them. Unless they're nice. But no, like, some people like find a market and it's like, oh, people in Mexico like my song, so I'm going to start singing in Spanish and like kind of pivot to that market. Even though like that's not, because maybe what I want, because I want to be able to perform and to be able to tour and to be able to do this, and this is like the fastest way to get me there.
Sure, there's no planning for that, but I
guess that's also valid. But I think we're in a privileged position to be kind of in charge of our own destiny in that regard, and that's like a very fortunate and beautiful thing, and we're very lucky to have it, and we're very grateful to have it.
Thanks for giving it, guys. Listeners and consumers. You little piggies.
I have a great segue off of this, but I want to first ask you how you're doing.
I am all right. I'm in one of those periods where time's bleeding together a little, and I'm trying to bookmark what is different or what has happened in between episodes. Maybe just I'm very happy with Friendship Meta. I'm very excited about that.
I don't get you playing Magic. That's my next quest.
Yeah, I got to get on that. I think I really need to get more proactive about sleep, because it's almost like a running joke for a long time where I've had such chronically awful sleep my whole life that now I'm accustomed to a certain lifestyle in a bad way. And when I love waking up early, even if my sleep sucked. I love having a morning. Makes a day feel longer, more fulfilling. I can have half the brain power, but if I hop on my laptop at 9 a.m., I can get triple as much done. It's just I don't know. I'm honestly a little skeptical about I'm a night owl. And I'm like, well, it's the easier one. So I guess everyone could say that.
I know what you mean. Because so in fairness, I used to be a night owl. And then I grew up, dude. Yeah. No, for what something shifted. I started like waking up at the same time, and it does take time to like build that habit. And then that became more natural to me than staying up. Right now, I'm in the worst of all worlds where I'm going to sleep at the time that would allow me to wake up, and then I'm still sleeping in. So I need to figure out what's going on with that. But my doctor's still on maternity leave.
That's the issue, is that it's not really... I'm very thankful for the assessments and treatments and diagnoses that I have connected to so far. I'm like, consider myself very lucky, not only because medical care and utility in the US is obviously very hard, but and I'm in a position to do that, but also just very lucky that I've been set up for success by... Turns out, hey, I just got a great psychiatrist. I was not responsible for making that psychiatrist great. That was luck, and they put me on the right path, I feel. Shout out to Special K.
Ketamine.
Yeah, thanks out to ketamine. Oh, did I say psychiatrist? I meant psychology. I don't feel like I've really even taken many steps towards figuring sleep out. And I think a lot of the time when I was doing full-time carer stuff, 8 hours ahead of the US as well. So talking to anyone also meant staying up late. Or I think I broke into a new limit of bad, where now my average sleep amount per night is usually about 3 to 4 hours. And it doesn't really matter when I go to sleep. It's just kind of like 3 to 4 hours. And then one day a week I'll sleep for like 14 hours. And that is such a bad loop for triggering hypomania. Mm-hmm. And I'm too fatigued for the hypomania to like manifest as getting hyper-focused on making a D&D campaign or something.
Right.
But with hanging out with people more, I'm also much better when Katie's at mine, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Because she's, neither of us have great sleep routines, but there is an acknowledgement of like, well, that person's tired. I'm also tired.
Right.
Who are we pretending that wants to stay up right now? But I think habitually I've got this... I'm very happy with my nighttime medication that really helps me get to sleep and generally makes me feel a little better. But I have an alarm at 11 p.m. to take it. I never take it at 11 because it makes me so, well, not drowsy, but it really does slow me down. And there's this weird part of my brain that associates that with, I don't want to get slowed down. I want to game out.
You're like, I need to go fast.
And I don't want to game out.
And it's 11 p.m. and everybody's turning in.
It's like, and then I sit and I'm, playing like a roguelike. So it's the progress I'm making is like, there's no story. I'm not absorbing anything. And in the case of, unless it's Hades, the best game I've made.
Are you playing the Hades 2 beta or early access?
I'm saving it.
Oh, nice.
I'm saving it. I was so late to Hades 1. Yeah. And it hit at, what did I play? I played it, beginning of 2021, which is, was like a bad chunk of time, but playing that like genuinely helped me a lot. So I'm waiting for tragedy.
Yeah.
But I still have a bunch of things I think I love doing that I just loved doing when I was a kid or were bad habits.
Right.
Like, I'm going to have I'm going to have some drinks while I game or something. And that's my evening. Yeah. And the truth is that actually what I'd rather do is work on some video ideas I have, resolve that comfortably around 10 p.m. if it's just a font of inspiration or whatever. Pop my little pill, 11 p.m. Maybe I made a little music instead. Maybe I just did something that didn't have like a practical bent to it.
Yeah.
Maybe I just tidied or cleaned.
Yeah.
And then love my pillow instead of going to bed like a task. And I always wake up for Sad Boyz. Like, thankfully, that's enough, something to push my brain. And I think that's another reason it would be nice. So, like, that's what I liked about having an office to some extent. What I've never been is, like, properly medicated and on the path. I now am these things, but properly medicated on the path to, like, improving quality of life and mental health.
Yeah.
And not some weird job or lifestyle.
Right.
That, like, I literally left San Francisco, moved to LA the week after I got diagnosed. It was like, I'm so curious what Jordan could have done at that time in his current setup. No regret. Like, it worked out. It's not like I had some like horrible firing or big conflict or something.
Yeah.
I do this, it's almost like camouflage. Like, I'm happy with my meds. I'm happy with my lifestyle, like the things that are improving. things that I have been very anxious about for a long time just continuously reduce for the most part. But I see sleep as such an obvious thing to fix, and I feel so far from having figured it out. Also, I almost certainly have sleep apnea, and I'm like, that's just another thing I have to go fucking figure out.
That's how I feel too. Like, I was taking my meds this morning, and I'm just like, there's too many of you.
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah.
Well, you take a medication for being ugly.
I have to take a lot for that.
But it doesn't work. So
it doesn't work. So I keep taking it.
Or you take it and it makes you ugly, maybe.
No, because then I just stopped taking it.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Why am I taking this?
Yeah, these are my ugly pills.
I've been doing that every time I've seen Eddie recently. Like every single time, I've just been like, we're just chatting, and then he mentioned, I don't know, like being somewhere else in town at one point for something, and I just go like, you were at the Ugly Museum,
yeah,
which you also own and are in.
Yeah,
you're the wax.
And you're the wax. No, wait.
And you made it.
No, but you're in it.
You're the main attraction.
You're the main attraction. It's like a circus.
And you went to it.
It's like an art installation where you're in like a glass box and they say, "Look at Mr. Ugly."
You live there.
You live there.
Maybe.
There's a time. Ooh, what is it?
I don't like you, man.
You suck.
You suck. I'm gonna kill you.
I have a great segue. Let me grab my phone.
Have we ever talked about the fact that the guy that invented the Segway died by falling off a cliff?
I don't know if we have, but it's a
Segway?
great fact.
Legend.
Okay, so the thing I wrote down is, why are we putting potatoes in breakfast burritos? Isn't that insane?
That is such a good point.
It makes me mad because it feels like they like just want to fill me up. And I'm like, you're already going to fill me up. You put eggs and bacon and whatever, what have you in this.
Do you think that in hash brown form it's more appropriate than
the hash brown form? It's like, I'm of two minds. If we're at like a fancy place, if we're at like a food truck, then by all means, hash me up. If you put you said hash browns, which can mean a couple of things. The first thing I imagined was like the sort of not cylindrical. What the fuck shape is that?
Like a McDonald's hash brown.
Like a McDonald's
almost like
hash brown.
a giant nugget kind of
But
shit.
then there's like the Waffle House hash brown also.
I'm thinking of like
those actually
the
would be
lattice.
much better.
Yeah.
The lattice would be the move actually.
Okay. Yeah.
But today I was eating an otherwise incredible breakfast burrito, and I just bite into a potato that like wasn't the consistency of the rest of the burrito.
Unacceptable.
And it was like a long cylindrical, it was like almost like a pickle shape.
Are you sure this is a potato?
It was a pickle. Did I say potato?
Oh. And it was a pickle you were eating?
No, it was like there were multiple giant potatoes in there. And I was like, what's this? Why is this here? And I just forked it out and I go, immediately better burrito. And I'm sorry if you love potatoes. I like potatoes too. But
you got to season them pretty hard for them to be good.
Or they've got to be the right softness, the right consistency.
Takes a long time.
And I don't think we're consistency checking when we're like, because look, eggs have a lot of give, all right? You're going to chomp right through those eggs.
Oh, yeah.
But then if the resistance is coming from the potato and the potato's a little chalky.
What are
and
your
it's absorbed all the
ingredients
salt.
for breakfast burrito?
Well,
eggs?
If I'm being honest,
pickle.
if I'm being completely honest, because I am a dirty meat eater, and I know you're a vegetarian, which is cool.
Thanks.
And not lame. If I'm being honest, it's like egg, bacon, maybe some avocado slices.
Hello.
Maybe a little pico. De Gallo, not Pico Boulevard. Yeah. You
Pico
put a little
Union.
gravel from Pico on the.
Maybe I'm going to Pico Union to get it from the food truck I used to live near. Pretty much.
Yeah, but really, a burrito in its entirety is a little indulgent. And I've completely just talked myself into tacos instead.
Yes.
So I am a burrito bitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Self-described.
But I do think it is because
We should say being bastard status is gendered.
Yeah.
We can be the burrito bastards, and you can say we give you the race card.
No, but I feel like being vegetarian, a burrito is better because I don't know. There's
Than a
something
taco?
weird than a taco because there's something weird in my brain about like people just don't the things that go in a burrito for a vegetarian are little bits and bobs, and it's not like strips of meat or something like
right.
that.
Or soy rizo.
So
Every
where
veggie
I'm
burrito puts too much soy rizo.
You know what I'm I'm proven wrong though from Home State.
Home
Yeah,
State.
Home State banks.
They make great breakfast tacos, even for vegetarians, and they're perfect.
And their potatoes, if you put potatoes in your thing, they're little cubey guys,
Yeah.
which go down much easier than a giant cylindrical, what basically feels like a baked potato inside of my burrito.
See, that's wrong. I don't think for a burrito, a huge problem always is proportions. Like you need everything evenly proportioned throughout the whole cylinder.
I want an even bite throughout the whole cylinder. Like
It's
we're
kind
talking
of
about an engine.
It's sort of a DEI type situation, would you say?
That DEI is ruining burritos.
We're forced to put these damn potatoes into this system.
okay.
It's
You
not
know what
like
I
when you
mean?
said potatoes, I was more of a placeholder for something else.
Yeah.
Well, I did say something else, but we're
Like, but
dubbing
then
it.
also I'm like, why would you want to put immigrants in burritos?
I don't know. And then I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Don't put me in there.
Though I will say I've recently been going to a little coffee shop. Now, this isn't productive. And one day I hope it will be. Anastasia and I went to this coffee shop once.
We did.
And
That's true.
I've been going back.
Bet.
I've been going back and I've been getting a little coffee and been getting 2 breakfast tacos. And the breakfast tacos, black beans, some whole, some spread, just a tad,
Respect.
some a little cheese, a little pico, 2 soft-boiled eggs, not 2 full soft-boiled eggs because that would be insane.
Like slices.
But 2. It's almost like a soft-boiled egg has been quartered, like down the like top down, quartered. So it's like a slice, like imagine
spear.
a spear, yeah, a spear of
A blade.
yeah, like as if it was it looks like a watermelon slice. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. So dense enough to know you're biting that.
Yes,
as
but
opposed to
still
just kind of-
small enough. Soft-boiled egg. Very few ingredients in this. That's it. Actually,
No
I
per-
just listed everything.
No,
No
meat?
avocado. No. One more time.
Was that a meat in there?
No meat. It's a veggie.
Anastasia's safe.
Anastasia safe.
Can I present? I don't know if this is something that you relate to because you're afraid you don't eat meat because you're scared you're a fucking coward.
I'm scared of cats.
Give me an iceberg lettuce. I've seen you bite straight into an iceberg lettuce and go,
Yeah.
Yeah, like the first Lonely Island sketch on SNL.
Sandberg.
Yeah, it's Will Forte biting into a head of lettuce.
Based on my life.
But I struggle with the taco because if it's a breakfast taco, if there's no meat protein in it, it looks unfinished to me.
Oh, but the egg has protein.
I suppose macronutrients wise,
Right.
yes, protein, but meat or something.
Yeah.
Even
I know what you mean, though.
Even a impossible meat.
Right.
The bite that I'm having, it's like having a vegetarian only curry, where texturally I'm missing a stage, despite the fact that that's some of the best curry.
Yeah.
Right.
With a burrito, I don't know what the fuck's going on in there.
You don't
I'm
care.
having a bite. I like the bite. Why
Yeah.
I'm not lost in like where's the pig?
My all-time favorite burrito is always going to be the vegetarian mission burrito in San Francisco. It's a very specific genre of burrito: beans, rice, lettuce, cheese, avocado, and pico de gallo. A lot of people hate that burrito with a passion because they're like, why are you putting rice and lettuce in my burrito? I just want meat and beans and cheese.
What are you talking about?
But it's just such a specific burrito that I truly lived on. When Jarvis and I both lived near each other in the Mission, I would buy...
Who lives there now? What's the address?
I wish I knew. It's some rich jerk.
Ah, fucking dox him.
But I would buy one burrito pretty much every day and eat half of it for lunch and half of it for dinner.
Never been able to do that. You're better than I. Continue.
I'm lost. I'm 2/3 deep. I'm like, why am I giving a third for dinner? I mean,
yeah,
I
what
might
am
as
I
well
going to put
wrap
this away?
up.
And then I just eat it all in one bite.
At the
What am I,
time,
Anastasia?
Burrito-sized gulp goes down my throat.
At
takes
the
3
time,
weeks.
these burritos cost like $7.50 to $8.
Yeah.
Now they're much more expensive.
Crazy.
But
Those are
can you
millennials.
imagine like spending like $8
2 meals.
for 2 meals?
Crazy.
And I'm like riding my bike everywhere. I was just like not spending any money. I didn't have any money. San Francisco it's an expensive
expensive,
place
yeah.
to live.
Yeah, maybe for you. Broke ass.
Yes.
Broke ass.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
I was a broke ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I said.
No, you're
No, we
describing.
agree.
Okay, no,
yeah,
you guys
we
agree.
But
And also, you were at the Ugly Museum,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
you own.
And
I lived there, but I was visiting. Also.
right,
You were
but I
visiting.
can't go.
No,
I'm
'cause
not
you're too
allowed.
pretty
You're
'cause you're
too
not. Yeah.
not
Neither
You
of
have
I-
to be ugly to get in, and you have to look at the ugly people at the ugly museum,
Which is you.
Which is just
who
you.
is there.
I'm all of these.
Yes. yes.
Owner.
Curious that
Operator.
you know so much about it. Then.
I don't know anything. It was your idea.
You saw a video essay about it.
Jacob said it, and I said what I said was I don't even know what that is.
Right.
Initially,
And then everything after that was something you heard.
I was joking.
Oh, yeah.
Is this real? You actually go to the ugly museum? Because I didn't even know that was real. Also, Jacob owned it and is the main attraction. Is the guy who goes.
No, but wait, so that makes 3 of us.
There's 3 different museums.
Oh, 3 different
franchise.
museums. They're all side by side.
Yeah, the mug.
They're like those houses next to the painted ladies.
Oh, yeah.
The goth house and the princess
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's like one is called like the Modern Museum of Ugly. One's called the Ugly Modern Museum.
Sure.
Oh,
and
yeah, you can
one's
make-
called the Contemporary Ugly
I don't know
Museum.
if you said this, but like Anastasia worked at the museum.
I did work at museums. Was my past life career.
Sure.
And so you can make that museum joke.
It's true. That's like you have the pass.
That's
for that
kind of
as
like
well.
earlier when I said it was gobbledygook, like a Caesar cipher had been run on it. I don't think anyone in this room knew what I was talking about, but through context clues.
just a
But
cipher.
There's some of my nerds out there know what a Caesar cipher is.
Yeah.
It's like when I talk about like having like big muscles and like being this like not being able to go to the ugly museum, and I don't even know what that is.
Sometimes I just accidentally out. I've been trying to be cool, but then sometimes I out myself with shit like that. I also with shit like I was playing Magic the Gathering yesterday.
Yeah, sometimes I accidentally out myself.
I was supposed to go to a party, but I didn't because I was knee deep in my fucking. I was knee deep in my Eldrazi commander deck.
Mom, leave! I'm tapping.
Yeah.
Should we talk about this man who's written by women?
Yes, we should. Great segue, Anastasia.
Yeah. Should we maybe?
Jacob has prepared a new
write
boy.
We should write about your museum.
I honestly easier to believe than them actually existing.
Earlier, you said something like "Bring me the boy."
Bring me the
and I
boy.
was
Yeah, wait, what?
thinking,
Bring
That's
me
what we
the
say to
boy.
Jacob.
Oh. Summon, show me boy.
Bring me the boy.
Surf. Can I?
Oh, you have to pee.
Stop.
So, Jacob, you've prepared a boy, and
You gotta stop
You
doing
baked
this.
a boy in the oven and prepared him for us.
tell us about him.
Like a sea monkey.
yeah, so-
Tell us about the boy you've made.
His name is Garrett Nolan.
That's a boy down there.
and-
Now, what's it in Chinese? Because I see he's got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's an actor. And this is, should we see?
Yeah.
Underneath actor. Kaizen.
Improvement.
A concept referring to business activity. Oh, it's like Rise and Grind.
Yeah, it's like Rise and Grind.
Huh.
Okay.
He's an
I don't
actor and
know.
Kaizen.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
That's Kaizenat.
He
I
does
don't know,
a,
yeah.
a few different types of content. And one of them that
numbers.
I think, yeah, he's popular.
Yeah, right.
15 million 14.6 million followers.
Yeah, he's
I could do that.
That's 1 million times. No, never mind. That's not how that works. He's 100,000 times more popular than
Someone,
NLT
someone
on
with less.
Spotify.
Yeah.
true.
Damn.
Or he's bigger than them.
Yeah.
He's got more views.
Wait, because like 1,000 times 1,000. No, so it's 10,000. Wait,
Math.
1,000 million. So it's 1,000 times more popular.
That's a billion.
Because 1,000 times 1,000 is a million. And that's how many he has. Yes.
No. Wow. Bullshit.
Yeah. If you want to multiply like ones with a bunch of zeros, you can just add the number of zeros.
Or you could get a life. I'm really sorry, man.
I have to do a shift at the I'm Sad Museum.
A shift. You don't own it though.
He works there part time.
I work there part time, like right now. Like right now, I'm the only exhibit on the set at the set.
I think you're.
Oh, dude, you gotta go.
I think your
no.
calendar might be wrong because I think it's time to work at the Locked-In Factory.
Oh no.
right.
You've got too many
All right, let's
side
lock in.
gigs. I feel like.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. All right, I'm locked in.
Be locked in. But yeah, I would say he's core adjacent.
Oh, okay.
He does fun little videos, and so we're gonna watch a few of them. This one is fun. These are like the concept that was kind of presented was like this guy's like written by a woman, which is like something that people say when like a man
exhibits any amount of sensitivity.
The bar is so low.
The bar is so low.
It's
It
like
must be written by a woman. I saw a tear fall from it.
It's like an Uber driver not trying to hold a woman's hand. They're like, this Uber driver was maybe really progressive.
A guy asked his girlfriend why she's crying. Oh my god, best boyfriend ever.
Is this Superman?
Written by a woman is just like shows interest and isn't mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Asked you a question, doesn't have their own answer ready to go.
Right. So these are a few of his like more like supposed to be like romantic videos. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Oh.
It's like hugging a sad lady. Oh, then walking in a hug.
Huh?
Strange.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Nothing at all.
So something's clearly wrong because they left their apartment and then in the hallway she like fell on him.
So she fell into kind of an embrace, and then he checked her against a wall.
Yeah.
He football tackled her into a wall.
Love, what's wrong?
Look, is that what he's doing? He's like, what, love? Is he like calling her love?
Yeah,
or is
he's
he
think he's
calling her
calling her
love,
love.
but he's not doing it in a way that like feels natural.
love? Hey, love.
Love.
Did we do that here? No.
I mean, it's occasionally you
You
hear
have
someone.
to have the right swag.
Like my love, maybe, right?
Yeah. You have
What?
to have it with the right twang, the right swag.
It'd be really funny if he was super cockney.
Love, come here.
Even so, he doesn't have to keep.
What the hell? Oh, she's.
It looks like he put her in. It looks like he just did like a sleeper move.
a stealth takedown.
And then she just collapses on the ground.
Be quiet.
Yeah, okay. All right, now he's got her in submission.
What's wrong? I just really need you. I'm here. You have me.
Kind of looks like Wolverine.
I
Wait,
have
sorry,
you.
back up. What did he say? He said, "You have me,
And I'll hold you here until you
and I'll hold you here until you feel better." Maybe not here.
Yeah, in the hall.
Maybe not in the hall.
It's like, can I go to? I would rather be in my apartment.
Maybe like, yeah, I'm not to backseat romance, but
Excuse me, love.
I'm like, maybe we unlock the door, we go back in private, so she can have a little dignity
Me.
outside of the hallway of this apartment complex.
Hey, it's everyone's social dynamics are different depending on the status of your relationship, the things that you've set up for one another. But if I did this, where we're like, hey, are you okay?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Are you okay? Like, leave her alone. At some point.
Everything's fine.
Oh no, he ragdolled.
Early on in his TikTok career, he did a lot of thirst traps of like him, because I guess he was like in the Marines or something.
Awesome.
Or I don't know if he was, but he had a uniform.
What's the Marines written
I don't know
by?
if he was, but he like had muscles.
Yeah. What's the Marines written by a woman? The Avengers or something?
Yeah, I think that's Captain
Yeah.
America.
Star Trek.
It's the tiny Captain America before he got the super juice.
Yeah, when Bucky has to defend him.
No.
He holds a little trash bin. That's a weird part in that movie.
I
You
mean,
seen
this
the first
guy-
one
Yeah.
where he just holds a trash can lid at one point, like he knows he's going to be Captain America.
Yeah.
He holds it, he's like, this feels right.
Now that gives me an idea, and he gets the shit beaten
I
out of him.
understood that reference. Okay, all right. So we've got Hugh Jackman here,
Hey, bub. Hey, love.
which is to
Huge
say he's very
act
attractive.
man.
He's a
Yeah.
huge act man.
Because he acts and he's huge.
And he acted in the military,
Muscle
baby.
wise.
muscle wise, he's huge.
he's
he
making
lives
her
in the
smaller.
Big muscle man museum.
Yeah,
Party of
exactly.
one.
Yes. This is how Wolverine would do a stealth takedown, by the way. Snicked through something against the wall.
Yeah.
Hey, bub. Hey, love.
His adamantine
What's
bangs.
wrong? What's wrong? I'll show you what's
I'll
wrong.
show you what's wrong.
I do what the best. I'm the best at what I do, which is be Wolverine or whatever his
It
quote
is.
is.
It is kind of weird, like how ineffectual her like responses are.
Yeah, she kind of seems like genuinely nothing was wrong, and
Yeah.
then she kept asking, he was like,
And he's like,
so,
no.
okay, yeah, let's hang out here in a public area. Actually, come to think of it.
All right, let's see. Oh,
What
that
the-
felt a little too much of a makeout kiss.
on the floor. Yeah,
Like a
a
forehead-
wet
it was like-
forehead kiss. Damn. Was this written by a X-Man?
What do the comments say?
I swear
this stuff only happens in movies.
This is him replying. With the right dose of patience and love, we can emit this kind of energy onto others. But it sure is powerful, which is why it might be hard for us to sustain it at all.
He talks like he's in the X-Men.
Yeah. Thanks, Charles.
With the right dose of patience and love, we can emit this kind of energy onto others.
Garrett always wanted to build bridges.
But it sure is powerful, which is why it might be hard to sustain for us at all times.
And then the Magneto is like a misogynist guy. He can control
Oh
women.
my god, I would love some kind of like TikTok X-Men situation where it's like
like those Pete Holmes sketches from
oh
back in the
yeah,
day.
George Basel's Wolverine.
Yeah. All right,
Snicked.
let's keep going. What's the next one? Set it up.
This one, he discovers what love is.
Oh fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. I wanna know what love is.
Oh, is it the Love Museum?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you.
Oh, thanks.
I really like this girl. Like, I feel like I need this girl to be a part of my life.
I don't imagine it's going this direction. So far, might be a murderer. Just all the same setup, I would say.
Or like just took a stimulant and or a line of coke.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I need this girl.
Oh, this is coke setup, except instead of talking about like something as profound as love, it would just be like, we should start a band that's
Six
rock,
bands.
but also a podcast.
What about new metal, where it's rap over fucking indie music?
Yeah, indie music and Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
She's so strange.
Old Sheldon.
Like let go of my hand, man.
And me to be a part of hers. I'm just obsessed over this girl, and I don't think she has any idea. I have this feeling that I can't control, and I keep chasing this feeling.
Uh-oh.
I have this feeling that I can't control.
He's holding a knife.
I know we've already set this up, but it feels again like his energy is that of like he just got bit by a radioactive spider.
I can't control it.
Got this. I can't control. I'm getting these senses.
It's like the first time Wolverine's claws pop out.
Come to me, and I will help you. I will help you hone your abilities.
I will guide you, and then he's doing this.
Yeah,
I will guide you through.
I will guide
Calm.
you through.
Ah, bub, look at my friggin' hands. I'm not remembering the exact lines from the X-Men.
I think Wolverine does say, "Look at my freaking hands."
Look at my friggin' hands. Ouch.
Owie.
Fuck. I
Does
hate
it
this.
hurt?
More
every
like
time?
ow, Demantine.
Ouchie.
Why do I know what this metal is? It's all
Played a lot of RuneScape, so that's
Fucking
kind
love
of
mining.
it's just higher than Mithril. Okay.
And I keep choosing this feeling for her over anything and everything else.
Red flag.
It's scary to me.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
Blink.
So relax.
Hey, pal, blink once. Please blink challenge.
What the fuck is this feeling? Dude,
Oh.
you really
Oh,
have no
literally
idea.
doesn't.
Oh, he literally doesn't know what love is.
Come here.
Oh my god!
What?
He just slapped him in the. Was that a real slap? That
Come here.
sounded.
Come here. Come here.
It looked kind of real.
It looks real.
Oh!
that's real.
Blew his hair back.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Respect.
Okay.
He's
That's
a real actor.
Method. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like Kintsugi. What was the rise and grind? And
Yeah. The method is mania.
Dude, what the fuck was that? You're a fool.
That's Magneto.
Yeah.
You're a fool for not trusting in your mutant brothers. And as he like lifts Toad up and blows his head
got
off,
that high voice. You're a fool. You'll never understand what I know.
and then he like
What
tries
I know
to
about the feelings you're feeling.
tries to grab this little like goblin guy, and then just teleports behind him. Like, ah!
Come closer.
You shall never know the truth.
Pow.
Oh, what the hell, Bob?
Don't trust anything you hear or see.
Bob, look at my claws.
Can't you see you're in love?
He's an alien. I mean, he's just from space.
It's if someone did a CGI edit where he's like having like Super Saiyan powers that come out, like he's like starting to flow through him. I'm in love.
Yeah, do that scene where Sleezer, I was about to call him. He's kind of Sleezer, where Frieza slaps the shit out of Goku. He's like,
Come closer.
Come closer, monkey.
What you're feeling is love.
The feeling is love, and I've not even reached my final form.
I've got a bunch of girlfriends.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's gonna jump out the window.
I truly thought he was
Oh
going
my
to jump
God.
out the window.
I'm in love!
He just floats away.
Okay, so
I'm in love.
I hate it.
if she doesn't know how you feel, and I hope that maybe he miscommunicated that, because if she doesn't know how you feel and you're shouting "I'm in love" from the rooftops, scary energy. I think.
Yeah, not
Scary
quite worthy
energy.
of that level of celebration yet. If by the way, the determining factors of how in love he was are I choose everything else over her, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking about her all the time.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and
depending
I'm gonna
on
be
what
honest,
how
I have
literal is that?
friends who've had that happen where like they were like lightly dating somebody or talking to somebody, and then they immediately jump to "I'm in love.
Yes.
I'm thinking about you all the time," and they're like, "Oh, I need to
Oh,
get
no.
out of this," and they're like, "You don't understand."
I'm outside right now because of love.
I have to say, as the resident woman who could, if I chose to, write a man.
I want to know what love is. that was just me genuinely asking.
Yeah.
I want you to show me.
I feel like there is a weird belief that women want this intensity, and that's not true. Like, this is scary. There's a
Shut up, dude. This is for the boys,
I'm in
okay?
love.
I'm in love, and you're nagging me. What if he killed him?
He slapped him so hard he just.
If I was dating someone, like, I want someone to like communicate with me, and be like,
Right.
okay, what are you feeling? Where are we at? Blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
before you're in love with me, maybe we say, "Hey, I like you.
Yeah.
Hey, let's hang out."
I do
More.
feel as though like a lot of like written by X. I wonder if this resonates with you. That like it's an overused term, overused discourse, whatever. But the male gaze is like, just the fact that he like slapping him was a part of it.
Yeah.
It feels performative in a way that is a little too self-conscious
Yeah.
about appearing feminine
Right.
in the conversation. It's not, I'm feeling this profound feeling, whatever. Instead, it's, I'm an alpha tiger, and I
Yeah.
can't stop thinking about my pride, my bride. I'm obsessed with her. I'm out of
need
control.
I feel like he's the make her my wife type thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
And like where it's like, and she doesn't have agency in that.
I feel like that's
A man writing for a woman.
Yeah.
That feels very.
Yeah.
What is that? Do you have like a piece of media that
Man
resonates with you? That
writing
is like,
for a woman who thinks he's writing a woman writing a man.
Okay, so I'm gonna say something that I'm embarrassed about, but it's fine.
Uh-oh.
I do read romances on occasion.
Okay.
And they're really popular right now, and so a lot of friends have like recommended them to me. When I was younger, it was like Jane Austen stuff.
Right.
And as I've gotten older and as these have gotten more and more popular, I'm like, okay, I'm going to read, and I just like reading in general. So I'm going to read these romances, and some of them I'm immediately like, ooh, I don't want to read this because it is written by a woman, and the main male character is someone who is like, you're mine or something. I'm like, ooh, I don't want that, you know? All of this goes back to like rom-com movies where it's like
Right.
Gary Marshall or whatever, like whoever was making rom-coms in like the 80s.
Yeah, there's only so original you can be when the format of your story is a Xerox of a Xerox of a Xerox of a
Yeah,
Xerox.
and there's huge tropes that happen again and again. And this guy, Garrett, whatever his name is, he's just mimicking those things,
Right.
it seems like, where it's like, I want to scream it from a mountain that I love this person. And it's like,
Don't.
cool, but I actually don't want this.
Yeah,
In
I would
real
like. I'm
life.
so in love that I have no impulse control. I'm like, oh no,
Oh no, that's
Oh.
not good.
oh.
All right, so this next one's called "In Another Life." Makes me think of the Katy Perry song. In another life.
How do I look? Do I look okay?
You look beautiful.
Does that? What's his normal voice sound like? I just don't
Yeah, I
believe
know, it's
that's
such a track.
You look beautiful.
Incredible.
It's like he's trying to sound cool.
Hey, bub.
Hey, you look beautiful.
This is what I talk like all the time.
Wow.
I swear.
I just got my powers.
I'm releasing my energy blast.
Yo,
I just
Professor
learned
X.
I just learned what love is.
I want you to show me.
I screamed it from the rooftops.
I broke into your house. I was so in love.
Couldn't control myself.
I stole your the radio out of your car because I love you so much.
And here it is.
You are beautiful.
What are you doing?
That's just a compliment. Oh.
I can't stop looking at you.
Can I,
okay,
oh
creepy
no.
now.
Is there something any more romantic than largely unbreaking eye contact?
I mean, I like eye contact, but it's just like the delivery of it.
Yeah.
Like
Well, it's
looking at you, and then it's
Layered
like, what are you
nostrils.
doing? And he
It's
goes,
the eye contact with body turned away.
I can't
Camouflage.
stop looking at you.
it's like there's ways. Okay, it's like if you said anything with that. If you go, I love you, versus
I love you.
I will have you.
it's like if you said your wedding vows in that voice, it would sound really fucked up.
Till death.
Yeah,
Will
literally.
you part? Snicked.
And then she does the thing where
Ouch,
she
my
like, falls
hands.
apart. Except for you do it with your claws.
Snicked.
Okay. Where's it go?
But I just gotta say, I do think there's again something to like. There are two very separate things, obviously, between like sexual dynamics and this. In that, like, you know, we watched that clip of the girl that wanted like her chin lifted up by a sword. It's self-aware. It's just kind of like a performance, right?
Yeah.
It's like because gender performance is an indulgence, and like, you know, media, porn, etc. is like very influential on real life kink and dynamics. But that is a little like how wearing a white dress for a wedding has some pretty uncomfortable implications from what it used to represent.
Yeah.
But if everyone's self-aware about it, no one cares, let them wear a white dress.
Well,
It's
and
nice.
it's like there are lots of people who are like, this is fantasy and that's great. And I know that it's different from reality and that's not what I want in reality, but it is what I want in fantasy. Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
all
for
on
sure.
board for
I
that.
think, yeah,
I think
absolutely.
the framing of this as romance and as like, I don't know, this is actually what women want.
and I want your revenge.
Oh, it's Katy Perry.
I want your love.
Is that true?
Thinking of you. Wanting to spend every moment of my life
Jesus.
in your presence.
You can't say these things. You know that I'm seeing someone.
I know.
You know what
Come
I'm
on.
seeing?
Okay, so she's with someone else and he's being like weird and he's like,
But that's romance.
yeah, I think I just feel like there's a different way to navigate it. I'm not saying you can't express your love if someone's with someone else, but I feel like you got to be very careful.
And just take no for an answer if she's like, you can't be saying these things.
What's wrong? Nothing. What's wrong? Let me wrestle you. What's wrong?
What's wrong?
There is because if nothing's wrong, that is extremely inappropriate.
Sleeping no jutsu.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
It's over. It's over. Freeze up.
Okay.
But not as selfish as what I'm about to say.
Don't
Oh, you're about
go
to get
there.
more selfish?
You only need to hear it once.
Don't go there. She was like, don't walk into the next frame.
Please, like I'm not looking that way.
I love you.
And it's because I love you
That's such a good point.
that I can't be selfish with you.
You can't be, but you just are. You just were.
It's because I love you that I can't be just friends with you.
I can't be so.
What do you want me to
But
say?
he's being selfish though.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say? That's a
What do you mean
great
you
question.
Can't be selfish.
Because I love you, I can't be selfish with you. I have to be selfless and harass you.
But I have to be with you all the time. You have to quit your job.
Yes.
And break
There's
up with your
so
partner.
many
Stop
songs
being selfish.
about being selfish because you want to be with the person.
That is selfish.
That is
like,
selfish. It's
I want the partner you're with right now to feel bad and be compromised because I want to be
there's
with
the NSYNC song on Celebrity. You can call me selfish, but all I want is your love. All right.
I just want you to know why I have to love you in silence.
What?
Is the music getting
You
louder?
know I love you, right?
Why does he keep walking around like that?
He's
That's why she
lying.
has to say it back because he's like, you know, I love you, right?
Yeah.
And I'm blocking all the directions. You're surrounded.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 4 different guys.
There's 4 of them. Yeah. It's cutting to different versions of him.
That's his mutant power.
Never to her.
Yeah, no, we never see her in this one.
Maybe she's ugly, dude.
Okay. Hold
Maybe
on.
she's working at the Ugly Museum.
Which you made and you're from that.
Yeah, you would know a lot about that, huh?
That's where you were born to.
I do. I'm a curator.
Wait,
at the
you know I
Ugly
love.
Museum.
Wait,
Yeah.
she said. Oh wait, hold on. I missed a big important thing.
You know I love you, right?
You know I love you, right?
Just not the way that I love you.
Uncompromisingly, scarily.
Just not the way that I love you.
Yeah.
I won't expound upon that further.
Yeah, please do. Please explain that. And not the way no one will ever love you again.
And you know I love you, but not in the way that you love me, because love is not equal.
She's
I
walking
love
away.
you like a wolf loves a rabbit he's about to eat.
I love you like a serial killer that I am would kill you with a gun.
So, I want to get to the most delicious cringe here.
Okay, here I'm leaning back. Wait, did I fuck up the shot? Let me know if I'm still
No,
in
you're
frame
good.
here. Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
We're locking in but leaning back.
I was too loud. So then I became the quiet one. I showed too much emotion.
For the audio listeners, he's leaning. He's in his car, jealous,
This
leaning
is-
against his wheel.
This is why we
during Christmas.
Yeah, this is just telling me that like his employer needs to give him longer lunch breaks.
Yeah, this
and
is
like
some-
not working to the bone. He's sleeping in his car. He's talking to himself. This is just a cry for help.
He's in biz cash. He's in funeral biz cash.
He's always in black. He's in funeral because he's mourning the relationship.
Jean Grey was just killed.
Oh yeah, rough. Spoilers.
Little does he know the Phoenix Force will bring her back.
Looks like a nice car. Oh, it is.
When I tried to talk again, no one listened to me.
Yeah, see, I was worried for a second that he was like crazy, but now he's yelling to himself.
Yeah, I was worried about
But
that.
now he's the sanest man you know.
Everyone said I was crazy.
Snick, bub. Magneto.
When I show emotion,
Good night.
I'm dramatic.
Yeah, you are.
Dude, wait.
Also, showing emotion is different from like yelling uncontrollably.
He's play that
Different
clip again.
things.
He's literally doing. He flipped from Marvel to DC. Now he's just the Joker. Like when I showed him, you have a choice. You said that you didn't listen. And he's like cutting the commissioner's face.
Yeah.
I'll steal the Hope Diamond.
I'll show you who to listen to.
And he's dressed like Jared Leto's Joker.
He is.
I stay to myself.
He just ate a
Someone
cherry lollipop.
See through it.
That cut did not need to happen.
What?
What? Nobody ever does what?
Wait, so that cut, by the way, that scene change was going to the other side of his body to show the action shot of him dropping his jacket. Yeah, okay, so he's taking off his jacket. But
where does he put it?
We're facing his left hand side now, and then it cuts to his right hand side just to watch him drop the jacket.
Because otherwise you wonder where the jacket went.
Yeah, that's important to the scene and the emotion of it.
That's why he started in his car, so you know how he got home.
Yeah.
One of my
I got
favorite comments on this one was something like he said,
I want to cuddle with this man right now.
Bro sounds like a somewhat reasonable Joker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now you have a choice, and whatever you want, I don't mind.
My father was very supportive.
Nice enough guy. Worked too much, but to support me.
I feel like
Taught me a lot of lessons.
Written by a woman.
this video actually is kind of a good example of the difference between like expressing your emotion in a healthy way and like raging or dumping your emotion out.
That's what I mean. I feel like at best this is it's. I know it literally written by a woman, but I feel like it is like presented as this. This is the ideal guy. This is what you want. And it's like no, this is what you want in a movie.
Yeah.
It's like John Wick is the ideal man when you have to kill Russians.
Yeah.
He's not like a good hang really. He's kind of weird. He might like stab you. I don't know. It depends how Russian you are.
It's not. Yeah.
But he is. That's not like actually what you want. You don't actually want to be with Wolverine.
No.
Cyclops is like he's relaxed. Like he's not yelling and snicting.
No.
And his eyes are cool.
Yeah.
What are we talking
Wolverine
about?
can't express himself emotionally.
And he's old, dude. It's like 100 years old. He's in the Revolutionary
true.
War. Hopefully
That's
on the
true.
right side. They
Yeah.
never
No,
confirmed.
they don't show the right flashbacks.
Wait, he was British?
He's
Canadian,
He's
right?
Canadian. Oh, Civil War also. But he
Uh-huh.
just went to America because he's a good guy.
Oh my god. Well, just one thing about him also is he does non-romantic ones And sometimes he pretends to be like an addict calling his mom and stuff. It's like, I don't know if we want to watch those, but I'm just bringing them up as like the problematic ones.
Does that say fake POW?
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. We gotta watch that.
I think we should watch these two.
Okay, sure.
The last one's really quick.
You didn't have to betray me!
It's too late. You should have joined us.
What happened to right and wrong?
It's too late.
My turn!
Okay, so this is a while ago again. Whoa! Badass. Kicking, fine.
Wait, what?
Bro, guy. Beat him
Wait,
up.
what happened to the guy who was just in the zip?
He got tired.
The fleece zip.
He got really tired.
These two guys are in combat armor. Wait, go back.
This is non-work.
Like what happened to that guy? Isn't that the first guy he would target? Also, that guy is like super clean until he got spit on.
That's really rude. That's not nice of him to do. Yeah. Oh, he breaks the.
He was only being held by a zip tie.
It's
Also,
a shot
this
of.
weird shot.
Is that supposed to just be like this will be training? It's a shot of him boxing.
Wait, that's cool. That's like in an anime where it like goes back to his like practice.
Yeah, in sepia.
Or it goes to it's like Wolfang Fist, like Yamcha is like, and you see the cut to the wolf before he like goes, yeah. Cool, nice.
Yeah.
The guy just
Well,
gives him the gun. That's fun.
Yeah, because he almost hit him.
I do love in close, and this happens in every action movie. There's a guy in close quarters with a gun who could shoot and just decides not to.
Like, hey,
every
what are you
time.
doing over
He's
here?
like waiting until he's done with the last guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like in The Beekeeper.
He really wants to
which
make
we'll
sure he
talk
hits
about
him. You know, like, because what if he fired the gun and it misses? You only get one bullet in a gun.
Yeah.
That's true. Especially
One
on
shell
an
in a
assault
shotgun,
rifle.
dude.
Yeah, one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow.
That's what that's about.
TikTok premium acting for you.
2021. That's why his hair is so short.
Okay.
And he has no tattoos. But that was was he in the military? Now I'm thinking about it.
I think he was, but I can't confirm that. I don't have those kinds of.
I'll reach out to my
that
contacts.
kind of clearance.
This is just a role.
I'm not allowed to talk about my time as an operator.
He's
so-
super duper fit.
Wow,
He's like a John Krasinski type.
Still fits, haha.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
he's in his little
Yeah.
military uniform. I see. As a former military man myself, I don't like it when people kind of brag about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, he was the guy. I don't know if you ever saw these where he would sing with his cat in his arms.
Oh, wait, 64 million
I'm
views.
just island boy, yeah, trying to
Oh,
make
the
it.
cat calms down.
But yeah,
I'm just island boy.
yeah.
He
was
no
super
one
popular for
listens.
that. But yeah.
Okay. Look, he's doing his thing. I mean, look, I don't like the acting ones. I think they're kind of silly, but whatever.
It's just. I think the only thing I don't find.
Wait,
any
can
of
we
it
look
like
at guys raised by their
objectionable.
dad?
Oh, guys raised by their dad. Cool. Guys raised by.
Oh, I've seen this one.
Yeah, they wear black clothes and they're like very emotionally detached.
Guys
I
raised
don't
by
know.
their mom are foreboding in nature. And guys raised by their dad wear hats.
T-shirt.
Boys, top comment. Boys raised by their moms, but not mama's boys. There's a definite difference.
Yeah. One
I'm
of
not a
them
mom.
dresses like a necromancer.
I love all the comments being like, they're gonna love this. Yeah, that's meant. I'll post that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
This hits. Control yourselves is the. You know what it is? It's
What is
like
it?
just so. I mean, I shouldn't apply this automatically, but there's so much really predatory, like performance masculinity stuff. That's something I get self-conscious about sometimes. Like I don't ever want it to seem like, well, I'm just, I'm not like the other guys. Like I'm a soft guy. It's like I do plenty of toxic masculine. The toxic
not immune
trad
to
masculine
it.
stuff
Yeah.
is always going to intuitively feel good for me because it's like it's imbued, right? You're fighting
Yeah.
against your instincts. I still care a lot about like if there is a guy taller than me in the space and girls are around. I
You always talk about
intuitively-
having muscles.
I'm just well,
and
no,
being
it's too noticeable, you know.
Like being in the military, which you weren't. You kind of always talk about
Okay,
that.
well, I wasn't in like the military. I was-
Right. You
I
were
was
not.
in
You were
the-
also not in a military. You were kind of.
I was
you were just a
doing
guy.
I was ready.
You came here to do sales.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, but it was like a different kind of. It's like selling.
And you
know.
used to wear neon camo.
Right, so that I could
were
not
just
be
an
found at the
island
club. So that I could assassinate people at a German nightclub.
Yeah.
All right. So that's we got a wrap for today because I got to go to a GI appointment, and
Generally,
on.
You got me. On Sad Boyz.
Museum.
Sad Boyz today, I'm going to be replaced. It's going to be Jordan and Anastasia.
Oh, and Sad Boyz Nightz, yes.
Sad Boyz Nightz. And so as we teased at the beginning of the show, we have our new branding that we want to show you. So we're going to put some images on the screen. We've got new album art, new social banners and things like that, new colors, iconography, some like thumbnails on our highlights channel will look a little different. But overall, it's like something that we own, some branding that we can print in stickers and on shirts if we ever want to, and yada yada.
Maybe keep an eye out in the near future for news regarding that as well.
Yeah, maybe on the Patreon we'll have some even more sneak peeks, and hypothetically, if we were ever to sell merch, the Patreon people would be the first to know, and maybe have a discount, and also maybe be the first to be able to get something
along those lines. I'm not promising
something along those lines. But anyway, you can, if you want, not required, discretionary entertainment spending, you can head on over to patreon.com/sadboys, where you can listen to Sad Boyz Nightz. We've got 1 million bajillion episodes, don't count, but there's a lot, and they're all like 45 minutes to an hour, and usually it's me and Jordan and potentially our guest, but today it's going to be Jordan and Anastasia because I have to go to the gastroenterologist.
Whoa, the butt doctor.
For my, yeah,
It's
well, we don't have
happening.
to explain why, you know. And so, yeah, we end every episode of Sad Boyz with a particular phrase.
We love you.
And we're sorry.
Who wants to go to the Four Seasons Orlando?
Wow. Is it a long baby or is it a underdressed toddler?
That baby is fully sentient. It's fully conscious. And it is the start of a new evolution of humans that will begin once he starts procreating.
Fuck, within a generation, there's gonna be so many kids that can go, me!
Gucci girl, how you doing? How you moving, girl? Moving, girl, how's your day looking? That future girl, yeah, we on now. Take my money, go away, all you want it.
Girl, too rich for me.